10 in Blast Bounty, all right? Because right now he is really showing up as a player, and I wonder if there's someone on the side of Faze where you're sort of seeing them at the same level, right? The way that 910's been able to show up in every aspect, not just AWPing.
Well, the direct comparison would definitely be J-Bone, because he's going to be in that op head-to-head, and yeah, 910 has been a beast without a doubt. I feel like, well, for me, in the list that I've made for who are the 20 best players so far this year, 910 is firmly on that list, in around the top 16 or 15 players. He's even looking better here at the Bounty than he has in some of the tournaments. And so J-Bone, who the rookie for Faze, is going to have his work cut out for him. He's looked good in instances. I like how he can be kind of like, he can be more aggressive. He can push forward. He can trade frags surprisingly well with the AWP, but I still think he sometimes is darting between ideas. Like when he's scoped up on an angle, he's not super confident all the time that that's going to be the next fight. I see him just kind of shifting that crosshair between this angle, that angle, not always expecting what's going to happen next. And versus a Mongolz team that can be very hard to read at times, that might be his undoing.
Yeah, looking at 910, he's arguably the most impressive opera, I think, in the online stage, because Mongolz rely on him so much since Senzu left. You see maps where they will just give him a spawn, he can take it, then he'll pivot over and go for another opening. This is not the 910 I remember seeing way back when Mongolz first started coming up. I think they've given him a lot more space since he's been on this team without Senzu. I think they've relied much more heavily on him, and this is going to be, for J-Bone, a very important showing that he can go toe-to-toe with 910. Even if he can't outperform him, he can at least not get blown off the server and be a problem.
You're talking about all these things, though, that Mongolz can be very unexpected. They can show up in positions, hold angles that you might not necessarily have looked when you watch those demos. But I think at the end of the day, outside of all the prep that's going into it before you face up against Mongolz in the server, it's trusting in your IGL as well, right? So Twist coming in, he's that IGL for Faze. Where would you put it right now? Because there's some opposing opinions about what people believe Twist is succeeding with the IGL role in Faze.
I told Maui before that I had a bit of a hot take. I actually think Twist is not a bad IGL.
Why didn't you just say good?
I think he's actually performed very well with Faze so far. If you look at their T-sides under Kerrigan, they were drastically worse than their T-sides have been under Twist. You have had a couple of player changes. You have had the J-Bowen move, but even with Brokey still on the roster, their T-sides improved. It's not that I think he's a better caller than Kerrigan. Nobody say that. I think he was a better fit for this team.
Running out first and dying, or two, wondering what he should do next. That's not really a recipe for success for a rookie coming in. I think Twist is just a little bit more directed with how he wants to use his pieces. I think instructions with Kerrigan, rather blurry. With Twist, very clear.
The misconception I think we've had so many times with Twist when he's IGL'd in the past, you expect he's a star player, he's a great player in looser systems. You expect him to call a loose Counter-Strike, but he doesn't. He's more systematic. He does give really good ideas for players. J-Bowen is good, as you're saying, has really popped off under him as an IGL. You're looking at that as surprising to see a player like Twist be more structured in his approach, but I think it's very effective for a roster that has some newer links.
I'm gonna need more evidence from you though, Vu, because we learned yesterday that sometimes stats are just numbers, right? You look at it and you go 3D max, they got 2-1, sure, but you don't know how close Nuke is, right? You're giving me these Twist IGL stats, but I'm gonna need more from you as to like why, like show an example.
There is a round we had pulled up. We thought Dust 2 could be on the cards. It was possible it could get played. I'm
Hello,
not
guys.
sure if this is necessarily a mid-round
Dima.
call or a plan, but either way, it's really effective. J-Bowen doing his thing.
Remember that I say your name. I'm proud of myself.
In middle very early on, and the pivot they make, I think, is really impressive. So Twist gets caught off here. Does he get caught off? He gets taken down regardless.
Things working.
A2 will
Yep,
immediately, after a couple seconds, enough for Twist to calm that he should do this, I think. He throws a B fake that draws a 4-man rotate over to the B side, and then you see Faze actually aggressively make their way forward to try and catch this rotation.
Have they announced the videos?
In middle as he makes the
Yeah,
pivot,
I hope
and
so.
then they immediately pivot over into a short hit right afterwards. So they
Wow, we
lose
didn't
a
get
player,
cash.
they go down 4v5, they still throw
Faze
a bit
picked
of a
Nuke.
fake, enough of a fake based on where Twist was and what he was setting up to do that it makes sense that they could be going B, and then you still have the Jacob 500 meters ahead of his team. You know, you still have some
thought
problems.
Faze-
That's why I believe that was a mid-round idea. All right, he was.
See, Faze's cash has been good. Like, they've been looking like they've been putting quite a bit of work into their cash. But Nuke, they've picked that. They've gone 4-2 on Nuke.
help that lone defender on the B bomb
They haven't
side.
really played
Just
anyone
understands that there's a weakness on the map.
great
That
on
they're
Nuke
going to apply some pressure, but you don't always want to
with
go
this roster.
right
They
into
absolutely
the most obvious
smoked
choice. And so I think that, yeah, Twist is
Dendele.
actually, he's just
Not sure
grown
how you
up
say
as a
that.
game leader on
13-2,
Liquid.
so
He would have just gone for the B play. I think he would have just said, okay, guys, we have to go B, but instead it's fake B,
This would be
go
interesting.
short, okay? It's like the Alexi B special, all right?
Fake A, then
Mongolz
don't go A, go
nuke.
B.
Yes, exactly.
Personal growth, you love to see it in
Mongolz
whatever
got
role
smashed by
players are going.
Heroic, so maybe a bit of a punish pick they think they've got here.
Seen there, but I do like the evidence
we'll
that
see
you're
how the
always
nuke
bringing to the
goes.
table there, Vu, to back up your arguments. Instead, we are going to be seeing Nuke.
And then
It's our
Mirage.
first map with our
Boring.
first set of casters
Well, not
here at
boring,
TDK and
but-
Bardoff.
Not like a team who
time to get
picks
into the game.
Mirage.
And James, there's going to be so much firepower on the server. I think this is going to be a really close game with a lot of action, a lot of clutch. That's what we love to see.
What do the people believe, though? Oh, I like this. A lot closer. Now we're getting deeper into the tournament. An underdog for Mongolz. I mean, this is a very tight game. I think the desk put it well that we might have a 6-map day here today. I think it's going to be a very engaging day of
6-map
Counter-Strike.
day,
And what a
you
way
reckon?
to start it with a match such as this. I did also think that Dust 2 would feature in this
Have
series.
you
It's
watched
not going
Spirit?
to,
I
but
watched
I'm excited for what we're
Anubis yesterday
starting
live,
with
but I
Nuke.
didn't catch the
It's
first
going
map.
to be a
It
problem,
was just
as always, to deal with Faze Clan
It
on
was
this map.
not
We'll see what
close,
Mongolz can do. They've
put it
got
that
the
way.
luxury of starting
I know
on
Donk's running with his highest
CT
rating ever.
side.
I got to see
Opening
Zontic
up of
spin the
series,
blast
opening up of
wheel.
the
That was
day.
entertaining.
Let's get
He
cracking.
seemed very impressed by that.
Faze will be off on the T
But
side.
no, I haven't like analyzed
Mongolz
it properly.
on the defense on the CT side here. It's going to be really interesting to see where the
My
form
pin's
is on
working.
land right now. A lot of change-ups in the rosters as we've seen. We do have some poke outside, but looks like Faze are eyeing up that inner bomb site.
Outside with a P250. Love to see it. Little fishing going on. Like questions being asked. What a way to start. My word, Techno starts
Zeus.
with the Zeus. And the round is finished very quickly afterwards. It's so rare you see a start like that on a pistol round, but perfect with the close quarters of Nuke. I mean, that's a nasty surprise for FaZe.
Is that, I mean, hang on. First kill in the
working
first round of a series on land with a Zeus. Is that something that's happened before? You know, it feels like the opening kill.
That's right,
with a
mate. The
Zeus.
King's shirt.
We've done a
I
lot of
respect
Counter-Strike,
you
but
recognise
I
that.
can't say many times
Had this
I've
shirt
seen
for
that
ages.
happen. And he follows up with the USP as well.
I am
That's good,
unfortunately a
like,
Kings
griefing
fan.
from the
Probably the
first
worst
frag
decision I've
in
made
the
in my
entire
life,
series.
actually.
It actually makes so much sense, though, given
deciding
the
to
fact that, you know, if
burn
that first
myself
player's
to
out
that
really
team.
fast, you can just insta-kill him, and then you pull the pistol out, and you've got full accuracy. So it actually makes a lot of logical sense. But, you know, so
well,
force
I decided it
Faze
when I was
onto
like 8.
pistols, a full eco. They didn't get that bomb down, so straight away, you're going to have the Mongols feeling very comfortable.
Yeah, talking of comfort, I think this is a great environment for Tikawak to kind of go through the ranks now in a live studio environment with a crowd cleaning up. That's a very prompt 4K. Not able to get the 5th one. It'll be a nice highlight for him nonetheless. But again, I think it's a really good environment. Not 12,000 people just yet, but you've got a live crowd, so you know you can take the steps into those environments. See how he deals with this one first.
The baby steps. Is it a baby step, James?
I mean,
What kind of step? Is it, you know...
what's
not for the
after a
adult
baby
size?
step? An infant step?
Yeah, I don't know what's next.
Somewhere between baby and adults.
All right, well, 2-0 for the Mongols, and Faze will be bringing out the AKs. See what the default looks like for them. Heavy pressure into Squeaky
Jacob
already. and
died.
Both teams really wanting to fight here. Down the vents, they go here. Faze not really messing around, but quite a couple players getting cut down in the effort. So right now, Faze somewhat dispersed in terms of the lineup. Every single player operating solo.
They've lost a bomb as well. I think the bomb carrier was maybe the one getting sprayed through that smoke, so...
I mean, just
once
a
they
vent
dissipate,
play off the
CTs
rip.
will certainly know that they have some advantages as well as a numbers game. But Jabone will try to thin those numbers. Dropping Blitz towards the ramp and collecting 9-10 as well. Combo with the HE. And all of a sudden, the 2 versus 4 is into a 2-on-2. And now it's really concerning. Mongols don't have the personnel to cover their backs, which makes it harder for them to defend the bomb. They'll have to go maybe and look for these phase plays a little bit. I think they're trying to combine and cover each other's backs. But this has suddenly become quite awkward for them.
Yeah, very doable situation, absolutely, here for the Faze side, and considering how it started out, very interesting indeed. And lots of time on the clock still to make the play And you can see the Mongols really, really unsure now. So much time has passed that they have to question more or less everything. 1v1s is the name of the game, as well as timing. Techno spotting one player mini. And now, where is the other player? Good drop onto him from Darkmeister. And it's the Mongols with a 3-0 start.
Yeah,
Santos, is that how you say your name? Does Blast not matter for top teams? I keep hearing Vitality should give a hoot about losing this one. No, it does matter for sure. Like the RS points, they want to do well. Like they care. It's just after the player break, it's online. It's just going to always be a little bit random. I guarantee you Vitality care. Like, the players aren't going to be happy about getting knocked out in last place. The same thing goes for the Falcons members. They're not going to be happy.
Yeah, lots of fast pace here so far from Faze. This round is no different. Straight in there with the pistols.
Straight outdoor again, but with pistols.
Decapitate to Twist with an opening. There through the heart quickly responded to Blitz.
I wonder if we're gonna stick with this game plan. It seems that FaZe have gone. They might think that the way Mongols play CT, there's a gap at door or something, or top site early. I'm not familiar enough with Mongols CT side nuke to know what their game plan might be, but we'll see what they keep doing.
But in these buy rounds, we've got to get those bomb plants so you can keep those AKs up. Again, they've dropped a few players for the CTs, but they need to build on those frags in a round such as this where the AKs are coming out once again. AWP is out for 9-10 and 9-10 only. So we'll see how much of a problem he can be early in the CT half.
So we're going for very standard default. 2 players lobby.
More of a commitment here from the Faze side.
But we're going fast smoke wall.
Looks like
an upper split. Fast upper split maybe.
We'll see how quick they want to go. Because actually, no, it might still be quite quick. In fact, getting the way straight into the upper bomb site, the split.
The bomb was on the roof, though, on Silo. Spotted with a quick engagement. Someone is on their way towards Secret for the CTs. I think it's 9-10 with the AWP, which could be a nasty surprise. You can see now that bomb carrier delivering nades into that A bomb site. Can they find the openings they're looking for, though? Tikuak up top in heaven, helping his teammates. Reload will be needed soon, though, and Darkmeister holds his position once again. Great work from him. Tikuak supporting.
Again, FaZe trying to attack that upper site early, but they
bomb sites, and that's another big round for him with 3 kills.
Yeah, really nice hold there from the Mongols.
Yeah.
Faze, after they took that,
they kind of got stuck there, right? They came out squeaky, they fought top site, and then it just kind of froze, and it got a little bit awkward, it looked like.
Maybe there was a pause there, just the Mongols were able to have a great
Caveman, what do you think about
defense,
Jacob? He catches a lot of flat too much. I think he's criticism is valid.
They're able to fight the fire with the fire here right now. Faze, they've been going fast, time and again. And I'm expecting to see at some point, James,
I don't know, he's an interesting
mix up that pacing to start.
It's probably one of those situations where
the Mongols as to how can we best use our utility? What are the timings that the Faze side is playing with now?
Yeah, timing faster or slower. They're not really dropping Darkmeister on this bomb site.
Jacob.
6 for 1 is Darkmeister. 8 for 2 is Tikuak, supporting his teammate
Jacob's
really
pretty
well
young,
there.
right?
And again, we're 5. This is round 6 now, and
I mean, he has been here a year by now, right? And he's been working under Carrigan, so we should be seeing some improvement. But being on FaZe, he's just going to get criticized, right? That's just part of
again, you get that bomb plant. They can have the rifles out with some utility in this round, but the fact they're not planting the bomb turns this into an eco round instead.
Yeah, and we heard from the desk as well, that perhaps the selection of Nuke was due to FaZe seeing some weaknesses in the way that Nuke has been played previously by this Mongols lineup. But, there's been time to patch things up for the Mongols as well. Maybe that was more of an outlier event for the Mongols in the previous Nuke. So, FaZe, they might have to start adjusting somewhat soon on their T side here, away from whatever initial game plan they had, because this fast place, the upper attacks, the split on upper, hasn't been working out too much. And one thing that's for sure, James, is we haven't had the outside of ramp tested just yet.
It's a DDK's calling out as well, so DDK switched on, of course. It's pretty obvious at this point, right, what their plan was.
The play here from FaZe. Little exchange of utility.
Right out upper again.
For the T to try and make their way in. Got a few kills here, but again, 9-10 still up top, covering for Techno. You may or may not have the time to get a reload in. So
you remember again when Mongols looked weak on top side?
Bomb plant looking unlikely once more.
Okay, was not looking weak now, so we'll see. We'll see what Faze do after the pistol timeout.
Of this play.
They might have called the timeout and wanted to just keep showing the top pressure since they've been doing so far. And then they'll pivot off into something else out of the timeout. So we'll see what they do here.
Yeah, very interesting so far. You know, again,
Coach is sitting
it's
down.
on them now. You know, we're halfway through.
Don't
the
tell
first
any
half.
Pixel. He'll be upset.
Very quickly, yeah, and that's all due to Faze. You know, fast pace and upper. That's essentially just been the story round by round from them in one way or another. The only reason they've taken outside control was to create an upper split.
All right, let's see the default.
So
Hopefully it's a default.
Bit
of ramp pressure maybe, good outside pressure.
On the AWP. How do Faze want to play this one? Outside presence here from the Mongolz as well.
So we've got...
Smokes are going out for Faze.
We haven't got nades outside.
9-10 will take the lurker out in the lobby, which already causes problems for Faze.
Mongols don't have the nades to make this wall. They just have this one nade.
Yeah, I think
and now they don't know what's going on. But Faze have gone so slowly.
It really does paint the picture for the Mongols. Faze are in a kind of a desperate spot right now. Mongols always ahead of them. That means their positioning is very good here for the defense. Faze are going to have to shoot their way out of a situation where they're at a huge disadvantage.
Great baked opportunity for Darkmeister as well with his teammate on the hut roof, just saying
hello.
He's being looked for, and there are multiple angles. They're walking into a sandwich between Blitz and Darkmeister, who doesn't show just yet. But what an immediately awkward position for Faze to be in. All is known. You can't generate threats if you lose your lobby holder immediately. Like just full information from Mongol seconds into this round, and again it comes down to can we do it?
It actually would have been all right from Faze, right? Like they got this smoke wall. The Mongols only had one nade to really pressure outside, so they could have created that doubt in the Mongols' head. And forced some pretty nice rotations there, but Frozen's just died straight away. And then as Faze, you don't know, right? You got to go walk back. You have to clear all of lobby. It's just like a disaster, basically. So they didn't even get to go with their game plan of forcing the rotations, which they had 4 people outside, right? So it looked like they were probably going to go outside. Maybe for that mini split again, they had that second smoke for the outside box that's just over here.
They can't really easily do that. That's very risky for them.
Yeah, losing full lobby control right off rip like that is hard. And smart by Mongols, right? They read that there was not going to be an upper split. There was going to be a bit of a change from Faze, and they pushed the area where they were previously pressuring. So good adaptation by them.
The CT sides in the game where if you play very disciplined, you're going to get a lot back from just how the layout of the map is with the bombs stacked on top of each other.
From the few Faze games I've seen, it always appeared as if Jacob is uncomfortable in some capacity. I don't know if it's the team role. I mean, let's keep an eye on this game.
Darkmeister 7 for 1, 9-10, 7 for 1.
Obviously the system's changed a lot, right? With Carrigan coming in versus going out, so we'll see how he goes.
A lot of things weren't going right for them, and the same is true here for Faze.
How is he going? He's
again. You've got another crappy buy. Like every other round, every buy round.
Got 3 smokes on Faze, 2 flashes and a nade, so they've blown the door open.
Full buys look for Faze. This was just the second time as Youthkill was first in game in CS2 A tier history. 3D Max versus Vitality at Budapest.
I wonder where Twist is going to try and get this opening. It looks like
got there first.
He's hoping for a push, but
shoutouts to a man like Rops.
Well, we'll have another explosive attempt potentially here from Faze with the pistols and the single AK, the hero AK on Twist. Not too much you can do other than wait out some of this initial util, find a good spot, and just shove all in. They could try to play the pick game, but they are.
They're all 3 of them are still holding their smokes here. They haven't dropped them for outside. Yeah, they're throwing it now.
They were so expected last time around as well when they were trying to approach A. Like so expected. There was.
Oh, they had more smokes dropped. Okay.
So 9-10 could hold his angle. A different approach this
There's
time.
the nade. Darkmeister has 1 more. Blitz has it. Yeah. They've got this time Mongols have the nades, right? So they're blocking this potential cross to secret, which they didn't have last round, but Faze are unable to capitalize on that. See, now they're in the open.
Kind of a scary moment. However, Twist with the AK does his job.
How do you even call the rest of this round out for Faze? 30 seconds on the clock. Tikuak trying to keep eyes on the outside. Still reasonably positioned to defend with on A.
No one's on B, so it's a free site.
Faze to plant the bomb or die. And if this is the round where they plant the bomb, even stranger. 910 dropping Natu on the B bomb site, looking for more, trying to thin the numbers as the retake might be on. But have a look at that flurry of frags from Faze. Twist and Jacob now in a 2 versus 2.
Spot here, 910 is going to lose his head. Another great frag from Twist. And Tikuak now, we'll see what he can do. 1v2, very doable. Decent amount of time as well, AK. Both hiding in the same spot. One of the best tricks. And
it's good.
Nice
opening from Twist. I mean, it was a bit of a gamble, right? He's just standing in the open as that smoke fades. But the fact that you're out there as the smoke goes down means you have that shadow disadvantage like you normally would peeking that. And he wins the duel. And then Mongolz obviously just, they gamble that they didn't go outside. The fact that those smokes had faded. But they didn't really have anyone there. I think because Faze was so quiet. They weren't really expecting that. Mongolz didn't have a heap of info. I wonder where that second player was actually, like where the AWP was. I mean, the AWP was rammed, but
where they've got the
the other
AKs in the
rotator.
AWP, because that's where things have been going wrong.
Yeah, you've really hit the nail on the head, and Jacob will find a head as well. 910 goes down. Okay, early advantage to work with, 5 versus 4. And we've been talking a lot about Twist as a caller. This is the spot where that can really shine, a caller that is. 5v4 on the T side, with lots of time on the clock to work with. Twist making his way outside. We'll be testing Mini here and might look to find some legs. Darkmeister, and again, just such a good angle.
5v4.
So
Why are we walking in 5v4?
And you can see the Mongols are very ready for the additional peaks, but Natu will trade it out.
That's a great first frag to have in this game. 0 for 8 until just a moment ago. Natu carrying the bomb, able to find a second on this safe bomb site now. Not too late to come to life. Techno and Tikuak start to get to work on this A bomb site, but Techno runs.
So I know Faze win that round, but I think that's a weakness of Twists we've seen a few times now. When I was watching them over the player break too at that Chinese LAN, is he has a 5v4, and he just goes walking there without like a plan, right? Like, I don't mind him taking that mini contact if he thinks he's got a timing there, but the rest of his team aren't ready to kind of capitalize, right? Luckily, the second player walking in wins his duel, but we're not really using the 5v4 there. We're just, like, we're maybe using it to take a bit of space, but then we're just contacting places without really a backup plan. It's just hoping to make a 5v3, a 5v4 or 5v3.
You got Frozen looking for it from the hut, but on this next round, the 1v1's not quite going the way of Faze. Natu, the only one to answer back.
I was going to say this round might be worth 2 for Faze if they can break Mongolz, but that's not looking likely now.
How did Darkmeister get there?
Warning there for Darkmeister to pop Natu. That leaves Jacob in a 1 versus 4. Just 2 rounds so far in his half for Faze, leaving much to be desired from their.
Yeah, I agree, Caveman. I think the 2 new players from Mongolz have been pretty good so far.
There you go, 8-2, and yeah, the
I think they've been
suffocation, stifling. Definitely some
pretty
good
well.
words, I think, to describe this situation.
Particularly since I presume they haven't got really any international experience and have been mostly playing in Mongolia.
Well, how can we create a round where we can get these 1v1s?
They wouldn't have been having the best practice either.
Are also a team that is just packed with individual skills, so nothing's guaranteed here. And for Faze, it feels like there's a lot of gears that
this game's live.
Tested as far as a T-side nuke goes.
Always.
We had a quick look from Jaboen, looking for an early frag, as it has been 910 stamping his authority on that CT side. Something which Jaboen may need to do more in this series versus this team.
Okay, well, there's the threat to go down Secret. We'll see if it's respected by
bad nades. They have no info.
They don't have anybody watching lower. Okay, we will have someone drop down onto the vents.
Darkmeister's on the way.
Now there's the walk down. They will make it across safely. Better movement here from Faze.
No HEs this time. That's a nice one from Tikuak. No HEs to break the smoke on this occasion, but that'll certainly be enough. Now Mongolz will have to be careful not to over-rotate.
That's a lot of info, right? The fact you see Jaboen trying to cross, it tells you that there's a lot of players down here. I'm surprised Mongolz haven't. Yeah, they have. See, the second player's rotating down ramp now. And they've got
FaZe have created a
Blitz,
scenario where
right?
they
Blitz
force
is
a lead
holding
position.
them coming back up.
And so now they're
So they
looking
know
to
they have a
kind of
good
maybe
part
trying
of
to fake here
FaZe
that Oliver
kind of
rotating
stuck
back
here.
to upper.
Which
That's
is why you
one
got 2
thing
players
they
B and
possibly
1
do.
player here watching the
And they could also
rotation
have time
back.
to hit the lower
Then
side. They've got
they've
two
left
options
ramp
here.
open, which is a bit of a
If they
gamble
find
from
a player
Mongolz,
in
but
garage,
it makes
Blitz is
sense,
gonna
right?
take
Based on
down
the fact that they
Frozen. Back
spam
on
that
doing the
player.
job. Frozen, though, opens things up towards the upper bomb site now. 20 seconds to go.
Just wondering if Natu is going to go through the vents. Oh, that's such a big frag from Jacob because Natu's having to rotate into the open, jiggling but not baiting 910. He catches Jacob. Now they've got to deal with him before they plant the bomb. Rotations coming from the back as well. Perfect delay there from 910 after dropping that rotator.
Just a hard situation for FaZe. It's not just the 5v4, it's just all the info, as I explained, that comes along with killing that player. It's not the outside lurker, right? You've killed the AWPer.
That's kind of
So it's a lot of information too.
The CTs in that we haven't seen the Mongols be in this position very much, where they're having to kind of figure it out and they're having to kind of guess what positions they need to hold for an effective defense here. FaZe run the clock down to the last 10 seconds, but still the Mongols with a great read, good positioning, good performance. And now, once again, FaZe on an awkward buy.
Tikuak and Darkmeister, 12 frags each. Doing really strong work for the squad. Hard to kill.
Damn.
I don't know.
Feels like the Mongols have been getting a lot of
Not
solid
trading
movement
again.
through radio and picks and info, unpunished in this game so far.
Yeah, happy to disengage with that advantage as well. 910 doing 910 things.
Oh, here we go.
On his way into the vents.
Oh, he hears Frozen
Frozen
there.
makes his way towards B. I thought he was standing on the other guy, but perhaps he got stuck on the ladder. Either way, FaZe will do what they can to get a little more, if possible, in this last round, but 1v3 with 20 HP. Frozen could, but 910 will deny him. A very big half. 10
I mean, FaZe's game plan just didn't work there, right?
Lead at half time.
They came out down 0-6. They had a clear game plan to try and smash that upper bomb side early, and it just wasn't working. So your game plan fails, and then you try and stabilize, but you're already down 0-7, and you get spammed through a smoke like
on
that.
the team level, the individual performance went pretty good for the players, and also the team performance was pretty solid. Our games were relatively very simple.
Props to Mongols. I think they made a good adjustment out of that timeout at 0-6 to continue the momentum. And they came out ready to play. Whatever weakness they had, maybe against Heroic.
I think the pressure is like mainly.
Maybe Heroic they had a
I don't
weakness.
feel the pressure from the
Have a quick
like my
look. How long we
teammates or
got?
organization
2.5 minutes.
Like defense or something like this. Like it's like only from me.
What do you think the hardest aspects of the jump up have been?
Let me see if I can pull this up in 2.5 minutes. And see if it was this game nuke. See what FaZe might have seen in this demo to make them want to hit this upper site. Like, what did Heroic potentially take advantage of here? So we had first gun round. We're starting 2 upper, 2 outside, 1 ramp. Not really a huge weakness there. Heavy upper with the pistols. Maybe, again, we got a low buy from the Mongols. When did Mongols... Oh, I remember what... Yeah, Mongols just didn't buy this entire game. I watched this live. I remember now. But maybe the fact we're starting no one through mini, they thought they could abuse that fact? I'm not sure. I only have 2 minutes, but I'm not seeing a reason. Maybe these mini rounds early, but we're mauling it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the game plan was for FaZe or what they'd seen. I can't see it off the bat, but maybe I'm missing something. I only have a couple of seconds to look. But yeah, I remember watching that. The Mongols just bought every single round for some reason and then got smashed on nuke. So it was hard to tell how good their nuke actually was. It was just economy management.
And just like
That was terrible.
into everything and take like some stupid duels, and now I just get punished if I do like these stupid decisions maybe. And yeah, like the team level is just way higher. Yeah.
There was definitely a game plan, Zet. It just didn't work, which happens sometimes. Sometimes the game plan doesn't work.
It is what it is. I think taking on the challenge instantly and kind of welcoming the rebuild and looking forward to a future of FaZe. I think it's created a lot of hunger in the team.
For the bounty, what's your guys' team expectation?
I think team expectation is semifinals, I would say finals, and then we can think about what it takes to really get the trophy. So yeah, I think we have realistic expectations for us this event. We definitely want to be.
Hey Zayden, how's it working with Bentet? Bentet's awesome.
Yeah, I think
he's a really nice guy, humble, takes on criticism really well, and wants to improve.
Imagine being at a water park, but
when we had him on Genji, he was a little bit,
one of those big slides,
I guess you could use the term green, which means like new, whereas he played on Tyloo, and Tyloo were, like he was great on Tyloo, right, but they play very different to a North American or European team. So he had a lot to learn, but his attitude's amazing. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever worked with. Like actually, it's a good friend actually.
Somewhat key. No doubt. Need that momentum going forwards. Get Jaboen onto the AWP.
It's really good. Got upper exec coming from the Mongolz. Faze in a good position to deal with this though. 3 people there.
Looking to toss in all this util into this upper bomb site. And of course, you know, got this.
Hopefully they win this pistol and get a few more rounds.
Right now to catch anything that Faze might be doing that's aggressive, but Faze it's a CT side of nuke. They're happy to receive the push as it comes. And here it comes.
All right, then, time to get clicking. Jaboen waits.
Thorn's in a really good spot here.
Just one coming his way.
That should be the round, hopefully.
There are 3 coming in that direction. Jaboen's got some map control, but what of the A bomb sites? There's time to try and solve these problems, but it looks like they're committing to this bomb plant. Darkmeister and Tikuak, the guys on A who are causing problems in that first half, trying to defend this plant now.
Well,
good headshot there from Tikuak. Evening things up 2 versus 2. Frozen though. Some good timing. And now all on the newest and youngest addition to the Mongolz. In the 1v2, there's a tap there. It's a fake. There's a reload. Doesn't believe. But now has to respect this. Has to respect the whole 1v2 pushing forward. Frozen
nice from Frozen.
Does manage the defense there in the much needed pivotal pistol picked up by Faze for 3-10. But that's still a huge deficit.
Don't worry about that.
Is there any logic of Faze keeping Brokey for as long as they did? One thing I'll say about Faze, roster moves, being on the other side of them, right, where I'm in the team, you're making the roster moves, is there's often a lot going on that you don't see from the outside, right? Like attitude, how people deal with just being part of a team, right? That's a big part of it. Like fragging's one thing, being part of a team. There's a combo there. I don't know. Like obviously it doesn't matter how nice a guy you are. If you're not playing well, it doesn't matter. Like you have to just cut them. But it's always hard to tell from the outside.
Looking to go for the defense here. They were the ones to barrage the upper site, and now they defend a similar play. Oh, we've had a couple players dropping down into the vent. There's a bomb plant here. That's not a good sign here. Faze need a clean round, looking to defend the lower bomb site. It's starting to get very dicey. 3 versus 4 now for Faze.
Off to the races. A reset here would be so unpalatable. They might throw up at their desks. Get the remaining 3. A long walk when you don't want to give up the sound cues. 3 on 4. The cost of losing everything. This is a really, really tough spot for them. To do this with no kit, to find all those kills in time, it is such a risk. And if they lose that round and take no rifles, they lose absolutely everything. The game's over, basically.
Yeah, this is horrendous. Trying to force at least some extra deaths at the end of this one when the bomb explodes. We'll see if they're able to do that. The escape route, though, through the upper vents has been found to be somewhat of a dangerous trap. Jaboen on the other side. And you got Tikuak is going to be able to survive with that Galil.
Tikuak's playing really well.
Is limited into the next round, but that is just terrifying now. Faze have to somehow recover the Mongolz with a steal there with that ramp drop.
It could hardly be more tense, because with what they saved, they still have a chance. You know, if they lost the round and all the weapons, then it's kind of GG, but it's not quite. But again, there's not many rounds they can lose that remain. On a side note, it was 4 bullets in the magazine for Tikuak on that pistol. Thank you, production. A faster round from Mongolz now, charging in towards the A-bomb site. Still 10 players standing, just about for 910. Natu the first one to drop. 910 roaming with 15 HP. And it looks like a massacre on this A-bomb site again. They've lost a lot of position, have Liquid. Faze, excuse me.
A lot of damage, though, on the remaining players of the Mongolz. All 4 of them fairly low on HP. And Faze do have the weapons to do something, but I mean, they really have to just go for it at this point.
Frozen's
opens up
trying
onto
his
the lobby,
best
shows
here.
his position. The resmoke upper there. You need some distraction for that up for the player Heaven to be able to burst out. The coverage is there on the CT vents. See if Jaboen can open things up here. Flashbang in. There is the play through the smoke. That's not going to work out. More needs to be done here by Faze, but they're not liking the look of it. They are going to be forced.
It's almost insulting
away.
by
It's
Mongolz,
really
the fact
death
that
by paper cuts for Faze in these rounds.
Faze tried to abuse them at
Just
upper,
being invited
and then
close enough to lose absolutely
Mongols have
everything.
done
They're
the exact
carrying,
same thing in the second half, but
fighting for
successfully.
survival after the rounds
The
lost
fourth
as well.
buy, and then
it was 12 for the Mongols.
yeah, Jaboen's stat recovery. I'm not sure where his kills have come from. Like I've noticed Frozen having impact, even though we've only had 3 round wins for them, but I haven't noticed the Jaboen impact. Maybe what. He has the frag, I think there's 10 frags. Not bad, but being 3-12 down.
Scraping a buy together around what they saved. But it doesn't look like there's a recovery to be had here on Nuke.
Yeah, and the question again, you know, it's going to be on this pick of Nuke, where are you over-prioritizing?
That's true, he got the 2 CT
comforts,
pistol
you know,
rounds,
to
which were
get a map
impactful.
that
He had
you
good
feel like
positioning
might be
there.
weaker for the Mongols. You know, it's a really tough
He
one.
did-
and
yeah,
it's
he
not
had
gonna
impact
feel
on the
good for
pistol.
FaZe if they lose, especially around this kind of a scoreline. Having to play into the Mongols pick.
Mongols keep finding decent
We'll see what they can
replacements.
here,
They
James.
do.
So
I mean,
far,
CS
the
is huge in
chaotic rounds that
Mongolia,
the
right?
Mongols
I
have been
mean,
throwing at them have been really effective, and FaZe
obviously
tried
it's
the
not a
same
very
thing
pop. Like,
against the
there's not a lot of
Mongols
Mongolians
their
in the
T
world, I
side,
don't
and it just
think.
failed.
As far as population, but if a country's really into it, like culture is such a
There's good
huge,
util for FaZe.
such a huge thing.
Maybe they can have some map control with that, but again,
Oh,
the junk is
Twist.
just being thrown. Vintage strats on Nuke there. Twist being barbecued. 4v5 before you've even seen anyone.
No sweat at all for the Mongols. This has to feel so easy for them. So effortless. A 5 versus 4 with so much time to play with. And a long round. FaZe can't handle that. They're going to have to be active. You can see they're trying to see if they can get something. A timing for this push, perhaps into Squeaky.
1 minute 10 left, you got
Don't
1
have
molly.
utility to play this round out. They need to make something happen.
Double peak, perhaps. What is the cost of this, though? Techno's positioned so well. Oh, the clock is ticking. Got threats of a ramp push as well, I think. Jacob able to trade.
That's good.
Really
Good
big
from
work
FaZe.
there from FaZe, fighting for their lives on Nuke. Secured the bomb for the time being also. Blitz will have to race over. There's potential for Mongols to be put into eco territory. But they're still threatening with Blitz and Darkmeister remaining.
Yeah, real time concern here. You can see that to smoke out the Molotov was really necessary, but at the same time, Blitz down to 29 HP and Darkmeister a little bit too far away. It's not realistic. And as you say, you know, saving these guns will keep the pressure on to FaZe, who are playing with their life every single round.
That was
Just seeing some
that was good from
counter-attacking
FaZe, right?
skills
They
there.
used that last
They
smoke on
understood they're
door.
in a
They had no
horrible
more
spot. They
smokes
can't
left.
play a long drawn out round.
And they could, like,
So they take
as
that option
DDK is
away
saying,
from
they
the
can't play a
Mongols.
long drawn out round. So they do a really good job of using that smoke, and the fact it's a deep smoke to get themselves indoor. They coordinate that well with a ramp push.
Oh, man.
And that's good on the fly by them. Like, that's actually
That's a sick combo.
that's
Once the
good
nade
from
comes in
good
for
from
the Mongols,
FaZe,
you know you
reading
are
the
done.
round and playing the situation there.
You absolutely know you are done.
Fair play.
And that play is so old in the DNA of Nuke. Classic Virtus Pro throwing double HEs in there oh so many years ago.
Now if you're FaZe, you know, you gotta be afraid of everything, James. You know, the upper timings have been working out when the Mongols have been rushing it down. They're not gonna do that this time around, actually, the Mongols. You know, actually taking a slower approach, maybe putting more players towards the outside. They have the cross smokes. So the Mongols looking to get into closer ranges. They have a Hero AK to work with as well.
Opportunity knocks for Jaboen. He'll need to be quite present in this half for FaZe if they are to mount a comeback. some aggression into a lobby, maybe. I don't know if 910 was having a look towards A. Either way, he's been eliminated. So now Mongolz have a taste of their own medicine. 3 remain.
It's a bit of space here for the Mongols. Faze are just given lower.
They're able to get a bomb plant here.
Yeah, so there is a world
Better
where
win this retake.
something could happen here for the Mongols. If Faze don't have any defense,
I don't mind it from
they're
Faze. You don't like
have
give a pick,
everybody
right?
on the
5v3.
upper side of the map right
You just
now, the
choose to
closest
play
player from ramp is frozen.
Choose to play
This
upper
could actually get a
together.
little bit
Wait
dicey
for the
if they
noise.
do allow the bomb to go down. There is potential here for Mongols.
Yeah, that's one of 2 incendiaries for them. They can buy themselves some time. Plenty of kits, as you can see here, for Faze. But Tikuat goes down for free. Maybe some lessons to be learned there for him. 2 on 5. Maybe it's a question of damage. That clock is ticking, though. They'll do what they can. Faze needs to combine together now. Blitz is doing a lot of delaying here, and he is still standing. There goes Jaboin, and Natu's not far behind. Techno's in a 1 versus 2 now to win the game. Should it be this difficult? Techno rounding the corner. But he's not going to be able to...
Man, it closer than it should have been, but...
That bomb. That was a scary one.
Mind it from Faze.
Yeah, it is a really scary one, and it's one of those rounds where, again, it's...
I'll answer your question a bit.
Might think of that. You know, you have the 5v3 as the CTs, and you can play for retake.
Look more like bad from Mongols than Faze. Full silent across the map, and they still had such a bad setup. They had multiple people in there. Techno did get that first kill.
I think for Faze, they could have spotted out the lower rotate to have more control.
Technically, maybe you could have said they should play it more passive, but...
So, just, yeah, playing with fire there, but they're still alive, still in this one. And the Mongols, they've got a lot of rounds to buffer. They can just keep throwing stuff at Faze until it works.
With the new squad, we may see growing pains in things like timings for retakes and so on. And at maximum pressure here against game points on the CT side. Perhaps it could be their undoing. We shall see. Pistols indeed for Mongolz on this one. And again, if Faze are able to stop the Mongols getting those bomb plants as we saw in that first half, Mongols doing it to Faze, perhaps their lives can be made easier for them.
So sneaky. How has he gotten down there? Down the vent he goes. 2 players actually down towards the B-bomb site right now for the Mongols, so they're somehow finding position. And they're taking pot shots. They just need 1 bullet to connect, and it's going to really hurt for Faze. 50 seconds to go now as the Mongols. 4 versus 5, still trying to work some of these positions. Just teasing.
Just a bomb spotted outside by Jaboin. And Twist will go and collect that, which will limit what Mongols are able to achieve in this one. So far, so good for Faze. Again, got to just focus on the round in front of you. Handily dealt with. 4,000 to 5,000 for Mongolz. So they'll have a good buy with no AWP for 910. And boy, is he a nuisance with that scope. 13 for he and Darkmeister. Tikuak up there with 17 frags.
Weird question.
So far.
Is there a cap on how good an IGL you can become?
Maybe the CT side is where he can
It's not a timeout. I'll answer in a minute.
Yeah, very different story, the CT side of Nuke. Okay, the Mongols now see what they can find on the outside. Couple players out there to potentially challenge Jaboin. We'll get those cross smokes coming again as well. And a very forward play here from Faze. Twist able to get the better position around the corner of the smoke.
Have a look at lobby though. We've got fast moving action here from Mongols. Are they going to try and take advantage of this timing of the CTs being outside to do something on the inside? Everybody around smokes for the time being, and it is going to be... Well, they were asking questions towards that ramp position, but Frozen still holding for now. But maybe that's drawn distraction. That's allowed Techno to get behind enemy lines. I have no idea how he's in this position.
We saw this in the previous round too, on the eco. His Faze's rotations aren't super crisp on this map.
It seems like Techno, he's going to get spotted by a Twist. That is crazy. Very important there from Twist.
Awareness.
3 players left. Well, now only 2, as there's 50 seconds on the clock, but no real opportunity now for the Mongols. They're just going to go and save. That's it. Oh man, Techno. Man, there's so much potential from that play.
to ask,
Yeah, it was really
is there
interesting
a
initial
limit
setup
on how
for
good of an
Mongolz
IGL you can
with the
become? Like, can
smokes
Twist
outside. They had
improve,
a
or is it a
presence,
rare
but only
thing?
2 players
I mean, you
really
can
around
definitely
those
improve, right? A
smokes.
lot of it's experience. Like, if you're
Sort of getting
calling,
the worst of a duel
the good thing about
around
CS,
the
right,
corner,
is there's
but
so many
Mongolz had
variables.
2
That's what
people
makes it
with
such
the
an
bomb in a
interesting
position
game.
to
And you have to
respond
adjust
to what
and
was
call
happening
to whatever
outside. Maybe they
situation
had
you're
different
in.
intentions if
And
their
obviously,
players
the
make
more
it
time you
secret.
spend calling, the more scrims you play, the more
Obviously on the
matches you
radar.
play, the better you're going to be at seeing
Through
situations.
the
And
staging
it's
area,
like anything
heading
in life,
towards
right? Like, once you
the
do it
ramp,
once,
but not
then you
finding
can
much of
repeat that and
anything.
do it a second time or a
Running
third time.
distraction, lot of
So you get
different
someone like Carrigan,
threads
who's been
out
calling
for
since
Mongolz. Dealt with
1943.
one after the other.
He's seen a
special
lot
event
of
from Twist.
situations, right? And
Really
he knows how to
important
process.
catching
And
that
even if
player
one
heading
situation is
towards heaven.
exactly the same as another one he's had
That made
before,
all the difference.
the way he
While
processes
Mongolz
and
were trying to
learns,
pull
he
them
just has
into
so
the
much more
post.
experience. You can definitely learn, but some people are just better at it than others. Like everything in life, right? Like, I don't know. I've never worked with Twists. I don't know how good his brain is for IGL. I think he has a lot to learn, and it's not like he's super young in his career, but he has a lot of experience working with good IGLs. So there's definitely room for improvement. I'm not sure how experienced their coaches is the only kind of caveat I'd put on that.
And
Like,
then you question the
if you have an experienced coach or like an ex-IGL as a coach, right? Like if you have Glaive as your coach or something, and he can kind of
very important.
relate to you and
Maybe a
help you as to
game-saving
like
fragment
how
from Twist.
to IGL, because he knows how to think in those scenarios, right? I don't know the Faze. I actually don't know the Faze coach, what his history is.
It can be sometimes the most dangerous. There's
It's a beautiful smoke.
telegraphing the
Simple
walk down
smoke's the best
secret.
smoke.
And there are players up here as well in the lobby, looking to potentially go into the upper bomb site.
Yeah, is this pitch towards AU1 though? That's a really important trade by Darkmeister. Jacob not expecting that third one to come through, but Natu's here to pick up the pieces.
Mongols are looking.
Again, when you 3 people in the lobby for Mongol spells danger.
These nuke T sides.
They had that there again. So quite a few different looks when they've got 2 people outside, but FaZe have answered both of them. And let's not forget how this half started. It's a hell of a run for FaZe, which it's hard to see coming when you move into this half with just 2 rounds, but here they are.
Yeah, totally.
All right, this
Can FaZe keep it going
is.
though? 4 more rounds.
This should be a lock,
Journey
and then
is getting more and more possible to that overtime.
gonna win a couple more gun
As these
rounds.
rounds go forward and the Mongols start to scratch their heads. Jabone outside. It's a hard flick to hit and it's going to whiff. Just pistols though for the Mongols. They need to find some of those close ranges or perhaps a long range Deagle headshot. That's a close spot for Jabone. Lucky to stay alive. Is that a Tech 9 maybe if it was a Deagle? A different story.
Usually, Jabone didn't use his nade that entire time. He just let the smoke wall chill.
Oh,
Didn't use his nade for info.
Real careful. Natu able to deliver.
Doesn't matter, but it's just interesting
Still
thing to
standing.
notice that he held his
Markers on the
nade that
way.
entire time.
Running out of bullets. 2 players will be dropped, but I think that's okay. There's plenty of money here for the FaZe clan. Denying the bomb plant. They're only 3 rounds away now.
Yeah, is that threshold where you're like now you're believing, you're really believing at this point, and on top of that, you actually have momentum at the same time. So it's weird because the Mongols, they're 1 round from winning, but it almost feels like that FaZe are kind of have more of a chance to close these 3 rounds just because of how many rounds they've won in a row. So this is a very
Alright, this is a big one. Let's see what the Mongols do here.
Are the Mongols going to be able to find that just
Gonna be a
one key
fast
round?
smoke.
Looking for a timing here for a pick onto the lobby position. This has not really been tested all that much. Frozen here with the AK.
Going towards the best
Looking
FaZe
very
player.
poised.
So we've thrown the smoke outside, and we've just centered it
Throwing all the
Frozen.
nades
Yeah.
outside alone. Frozen delivering on the ramp, but he's outstayed his welcome. Hasn't spotted Darkmeister, out positioning him. Taking a drop on the outside is a big frag though for FaZe. 4v2 now as a fast moving round continues towards B. Now we've seen some Mongols being outnumbered on this B bomb site, and they've looked hyper dangerous. FaZe with some better positions this time, showing some presence with the incendiary. Good delay there, opening the doors, just buying time for them to continue to slowly rotate. Does 910 feel like he has to get a frag before that bomb plant comes through? His options will be taken away by Natu, and now Darkmeister's in the clutch. 1v4 made 3. They know he's stuck in the corner. He's in all kinds of trouble, trying to isolate these fights as best he
Nice
can.
from FaZe, good from
But the
Frozen to
wheels
hold.
keep turning for FaZe.
Obviously, Mongols trying to. They know there's only one person ramp there. The fact they throw a smoke wall, that they're probably going to go out and try and deal with that, and they just try and send it on Frozen. But
The Mongolz must be
Again,
getting
you're sending it
frustrated a
towards
little
Faze
bit
as
at
best
this
player,
point,
so
because now it really feels
this
like
is
nothing's working.
I
nothing
think
crazy,
psychologically,
but
when
all
you
done
go
by
into that
Frozen.
second half with
Twist is being
the
really
big
active
lead,
outside. That's
even
worked
if
so
the
far.
same is being done to you, even if it's a
They're not
mirror
really
of the
using
first
the
half
util the
of
best
a
outside,
stronger
but Twist is
CT
being really
opponent,
active,
it just
getting
feels
info out there.
worse when you're the one losing that lead. Down to 2 now. Hell of a comeback from Faze. Really hard fought for, and maybe it was about getting enough rounds to do something.
We're
on
walking
their
here
CT
again
side.
from
They didn't
Mongolz.
get enough,
Same
but
thing
they're
again.
Still delivering.
Yeah, mostly pistols here, just one AK for Darkmeister. Jabone able to feast outside.
Simple,
devouring
but good
both
from
players
Twist and
now
Jabone.
eliminating presence entirely. It's just the 3 that remain in lobby. Now for the Mongolz to see what they can find. Need some excellent shots, but Jacob will deny Techno's attempt. Only 2 left now. Lots of time, but there's no position. Just going to be pot shots attempted now. Just desperation from the remainder of Mongolz.
And the damage hardly matters as well. You try to keep a keen eye on when it does, but Jabone's got
Twist was video now,
$15,000.
his
He's going to be
secret. Just
losing
walked
money by
across.
winning rounds at this point. So they will not be too concerned. Bomb plant looks extremely unlikely for the Mongolz. Just getting collected now. So one more crack of the whip to try and figure out a way to close this game. But let's see what 910 can do. He has got time to be a problem. He's got a few sound cues. But a 1 versus 4 is looking exceedingly difficult for him in this scenario.
Oh.
All right, last round.
One more round from Faze is all that's needed. And it doesn't feel like the Mongolz have an answer so far. What is the play?
I'd like to see Mongolz trying to abuse outside. We saw that one round where I can't remember who it was. Flanked all the way outside. They did a good job of being outside, then they faked the upper exec, went towards ramp, and that player got all the way out outside until Twist turned around, eventually shot him in the back. I think there's an opportunity to manipulate phases. Probably not perfect rotations, but Mongolz haven't really shown it yet.
Mongolz. Early smokes on this occasion, but it's all 5. All 5 ready to do something on the inside. Very forward utility from Faze to try and delay things. Can the numbers game work out for him? So far, so good. Natu delivering. He was waiting for the second half. Completely unanswered frags, and now Blitz and 910 have got a really hard job ahead of them. Blitz is not.
The thing about Faze is they're not biting on this outside.
We move into overtime.
Well, I mean, there was only 2 players up at them. I don't think Twist was nearby, but the hit was just...
to let them bring this back. Can you imagine?
Weak.
You were down 2 and
As I say, I'd like a little bit more, I don't want to sound snobby, but a bit more sophistication from the Mongols on their T side, which we haven't seen any examples of. Like, you don't need every round, right? Like, you can run around like this every now and then, but we haven't seen the Mongols really show us one of those nice, drawn-out rounds where when playing with the map where we haven't seen it.
That brings that team unity together. And what of Mongolz on the other side? The same is true of them with their new additions. Opportunities have been lost time and again to find themselves in overtime with a 10-2 lead at the half. But here we are. Jabone dropping 9-10. Darkmeister will have the AWP.
It's so tough because I mean, often you expect to see the first round that Mongolz will get would be the first one of overtime, but it's actually a 5v4 for Faze. They're in favor. The Mongols haven't solved the CT side. The fact that Faze get to continue on the
We
CT
lost that
side
player on silo.
like even more insult
Jabone's in a
added
good spot
to
again.
injuries. Jabone again opens up with a second kill. And now onto the huts.
Again, see, Faze have made it down. I'm not sorry, Mongols have made it down.
Be a tough one.
But they've lost too many
in
members
the
in the
break
process.
if
But this is the
0-1
situation I
down
want
at
to
the end
see
of this
them
game of
in,
Nuke.
just with more players alive.
Had a lot of
But
overtimes yesterday.
good by Jabone, good
match
rotation by
on
him.
Nuke.
Got the pick outside, good boost, and then went and picked up Hut.
A potential lurk from lobby that could be pivotal here for the Mongols. They have some position to work with. And there we go, Darkmeister takes down one player.
That's big now, because you
Molly's
know
in
the vent
vents, Molly's on
rotation.
the ramp.
And then if Blitz
saw
wins
typical
this,
retake attempts
okay,
from
they've lost the
Faze,
space now, but
especially on that ramp earlier on. 2 versus 4 now, continuing to creep in a similar position, but a different result this time. They have learned, they have
I think Blitz had to go for that kill there, right? Because they've got the
lead. Can you believe
they
it?
did
They're in
have the vent
lead versus
rotation held
Mongolz
off, but
on Nuke. 2
it
to
wasn't
10.
for long. So
after the
I guess it
first
probably
half,
didn't really
and
matter.
now they lead. How does that feel?
Well, I mean, for Faze, you know, there was this risk of maybe just a feeling of embarrassment, a feeling of regret, picking Nuke into the Mongolz and losing the first half.
Yeah, so if
2 to 10,
Darkmeister
but here we
just
are
holds
now.
the vent rotation there,
Faze
then Blitz
fully
kills the
powered
guy
up.
coming down secret, that's potentially a
Jabone
very
in the
different
first round
round.
of overtime, really delivering the opening picks, besting 9-10 on the silo.
Where's my stream gone? No, not now.
Different.
It's back.
But what do they do at this point?
Smokes outside again.
All right, this is good.
Mongolz also quickly making some noise.
We've got lobby
towards the
control.
ramp.
Bombs outside lobby. Oh, we've died in
And
lobby.
again, they're in a 4 versus 5. Faze really off to the races.
See, that's
on their
poor from the
CT side
Mongols.
here,
I know we're talking about
doing
their
their
lobby hold
best
before,
work.
but you can't be in here all by yourself.
Mongolz have not
Like
been
that's
able to
so
find an answer.
deep
They've
in
had so
lobby
many rounds of
with no support.
restarting in the lobby,
Like that
trying to
one
be
is,
flexible,
you can't be
looking
doing
for
that.
opportunities
I would-
denied round
The other one,
after
I'm not
round.
sure that we were talking about if it was bad or not, but that's maybe a rookie error from the
Gets some position
Mongolian
outside
rookie.
here, but how aware are the CT side here, the Faze? Well, Jabone, he is sharp. He cannot be tested outside, just time and again. 9-10 though, will take down Twist. Jacob though, the answer back. 2 frags.
That's from
Puts
Jacob.
Faze in an incredible position now. 4 versus 1. 9-10, I mean, what does he do? His teammates have fallen around him. And he's just in an exposed position, and there it is. Time's up, Jabone.
Again, Mongols got
He's
that
there
space in
again.
lobby,
14
but
to 12 now for Faze.
didn't get the kill. There wasn't really anything to play off that
Absolutely
space in
nothing
lobby.
doing
I think it was
on
Blitz
the
couldn't
T
get it.
side. Again, Mongolz trying different looks. More people outside is just.
Has Tick
netting
not
them
played that?
45 quicker,
Has
it
he not
seems.
played that spot before?
And now it's
Bolts.
Faze's turn. Let's not forget that aggression
Or are
we
you
saw
just-
on the CT side from
you know that?
Mongolz. The ramp pushes from 9-10.
The bombs picked it up in overtime. We're talking about him getting exit frags and eco frags, but he's had impact here towards the end of this game.
Another AWP for 9-10. Again, the last 2 rounds, very quickly, Faze had the 5v4, just getting the better of them outside. Jabone ready for these challenges.
Oh, so ready. Ready and waiting. And soon a test again to Jabone. The Mongols able to find a way to counter this. The jump, the run across at 9-10 with the boost. And that's what gets Jabone. They had to get creative, but they found a 5v4 opening. We haven't seen that for some time. What is Faze to do now?
Frozen's asking questions towards the ramp. They don't really know how many players are in the lobby. Again, there's often been
Frozen's
many
in a
for
good
Mongolz.
spot here.
So we'll see if Faze are able to understand that the threat is mainly going to be towards B, and if they can reposition in time. Twist will show some presence. Nasu's here as well. That's at least 2 players. What did Mongolz do with this? There's just under a minute on the clock, but again, they're really committed to these spots.
Did you see that? I think Twist.
Huge flick from there too. And that might allow Twist to get the drop. A good timing potentially. 40 seconds. Still trying to work with here for the Mongols, but things starting to feel a little bit awkward. Faze have managed to find their way into some positions on this lower side, but the split comes in, and there it is. Blitz from the back from Ramp. Now down to Twist in this 1v1. He can still play spoiler to this round. He can still create delay. That presence means a lot here, but the bomb does go down.
There's a timing where 9-10 doesn't survive. Frozen, after clearing lobby, able to do the job. What can Darkmeister do though? Drop Frozen down to the 2-1-2. Blitz at the back. He'll get dropped by Jacob. Darkmeister with 12 HP in a 1 versus 2. A huge peek from Twist. A great man to get that last frag. That's a very solid overtime half for Faze.
Yeah, 15 to 12. They just need 1 T round. And yeah, they couldn't find any T rounds in the first half, James. But it feels like the Mongols, like, when are they getting any kills? In the last 10, 12 rounds, they're getting no kills. So from a psychological perspective, you have to give Faze a massive edge now into this T side.
Frozen did great work to go through the ramp alone towards lobby and give Faze high confidence of the B play. Of course, lobby being
How
left
did the
open
Mongols
allowed a
get
team to
down
make
ramp
it
there?
through
I actually
there, but
missed it.
still Faze able to
Frozen
overcome.
was pushed up in trophy room.
Again, I think Twist getting that last frag at halftime as we have a short break and switch sides is fantastic. A lot of timeouts, a lot of discussion through a very high-stress game of Nuke.
Yeah, we can cast our mind back to what FaZe were doing in the first half. You know, they were going for a very fast pace, generally speaking. The first 6 to 7 rounds just all ended in just a quick upper hit. And generally, you know, using lobby, using outside, splitting, that was kind of what they were just doing, just time over time over time. And it just didn't work. It looked really just ineffectual.
No, I'm
We'll
not
see if
from
they decide
London.
to go for the same
I'm
stuff.
Australian.
They probably feel a little bit more confident into this. Or if the game plan will change completely.
Don't insult me like that. I'm not that sophisticated.
Side.
Don't
Now
want to be
the
that close to the royal
Let's not
family.
forget how strong Mongolz were. It's their turn to have no margin for error. They just need one round to go wrong.
I'm kidding.
One
I'm
duel
kidding.
that's pivotal
Very, very dry
to
sarcasm.
go wrong.
Right, let's see if FaZe can get around here. So they've double smoke walled outside,
With a second set of smokes being deployed.
but we already have
Ready though,
Blitz.
up from the secret
Good
stairs,
trade.
but Jacob,
This is good for
he's been
FaZe. That's a good trade,
great on
really
the
good.
rifle so far this game. Gets
Mongols
the
are going to be
punish in,
scrambling.
and
They
9-10 is
push.
completely circumvented as FaZe have found much faster positioning.
Techno, the only one in the lower area for the time being. So does he fight to the death? Oh, he gets that rotation just in time. Taking control of control. But he is on an island. Oh dear, nowhere to go. Again, you saw the question, do you fight to the death there? His team no longer have position on that B bomb site. 9-10 will catch a lurker, but there's more work to do.
Yeah, very nice frag. The Molotov might force his hand, but a bit of space there to Koak to work with. And that will thin the numbers. The bomb hasn't even gone down just yet. It's going to have to go down right now into safety with Jacob. He's being very, very good right now on the position, pushing forwards, gets the coverage from Nate2. And now Dark Maestro 9-10 in a 2 versus 2. Trying to work their way down here, trying to coordinate. A reset of
It'll
positions
be all on
here from
Dark
FaZe.
Meister. He has to
Does
do
give them
something
a good
here.
spot here. Jacob ready, waiting, but no, Pullet's not able to connect the shots, and now suddenly the Mongols, the must-win round. Nate2 delivers for FaZe.
He got his kills at the end.
Single round dropped.
That's all good.
Unbelievable turn
Reeks.
from them.
Reeks, you know? Alice Springs, that's right, caveman. That's where I'm from, Alice Springs. Interesting game of CS. I like that last round from FaZe. Nice trade outside. They abused lower. They made it awkward for Mongols. They didn't give away too many sound cues. That's a good, like, that was the rounds you needed in the first half, and they're the rounds that Mongols failed to give us on their T side. The Mongols T side just seemed very simple, which is nothing wrong with being simple sometimes, but you need to be able to do both, and the Mongols didn't show us that. So respect to FaZe is like
what I thought it was.
comeback, like, and that lobby crunch saved them that we saw right at the end of the CT half. If they hadn't pulled off that lobby crunch, it looked like the game was kind of over.
But I feel like some of the T-side calling, it led to so many opening picks going the way of FaZe Clan.
Maui's right.
FaZe's
Like,
strengths, though, and to talk about
this
what they
was
did
not
well.
a good
Those
T-side
anchors
calling
did a great job.
from
Jake
either
Bowen, I
teams,
felt
so it
like
made the
all
CT
youngsters
sides
here
look
from
really
FaZe
good.
were really
The CT
pushing
sides
them
were solid.
towards that finish
They just
line
didn't really
and
get
got 'em over
tested.
it.
Like, the hard thing about Nuke is when you get played with, and that's what makes CT hard, CT side hard on you. Like, the fights themselves, the duels are generally CT sided, but it's the manipulation of the map the T side can have, which we didn't really see from either team.
I believe the stat was he went
And then
20-4 on the CT side. But if you
players are hitting their
he hit
shots.
some nice shots, 100%. But if you look at how it actually went down, so many were just peeking out into a rifler in the middle of the open. A rifler peeking
Then we
out
get
into
Mirage,
dry. Someone
which is a
trying to
map
go for a pick.
anyone can
They
play.
just it felt like they fell apart completely. And honestly, we talked about Mara. I think a Mara pause would have made a major difference in this one.
Didn't see one. I don't think there was one. They were getting stumped. I think NKJ used nearly all of his timeouts when they were getting down in the rounds. But yeah, no, as that comeback was happening, I just don't, they definitely didn't call one in overtime. I know that.
I don't think they called one the whole game.
No, they didn't. And this is like, you know, a film we've seen before.
The
We've seen
Mongols
this
not
story
call a
play out,
timeout.
and, you know, there is that element.
That whole
they don't
game.
have a coach. Why would they take a timeout to give the team with a coach a little bit more advantage? But at the same time, you end up losing 13 rounds in a row, and not a single time is a timeout taken there. But we can go back to the very beginning, because this is probably the part that either people have forgotten or the
Desk
part
is
in
saying
which
they didn't,
tuned
Dima.
out. Well, we were wondering what is going
I'm
on
not
with
sure.
the T side for FaZe Clan. What is falling apart right now for them?
As much as it was a great comeback, the reason they needed the comeback was because their T sides were questionable. I wouldn't even say questionable. This was a terrible T-side. And this is what you think of when you think of a Twist T-side. What do? You're on a force buy. Give me the AK, boys. I'm just going to take a straight-up duel. Then we're going to push lower, and we're going to collapse
Mongolz
on the
picked
squeaky
Mirage.
rotate, on the vent rotate. And that's what they're trying to do at the same time as this fight happens in lower. They end up in a 2v2, and then they can find their way, fragging-wise, to actually close this one out eventually. This is their first round on T-side, on a force buy where Twist said, screw it, we can't win strategically, I'm just going to pick up an AK and go for the frags.
They had some really interesting rounds prior to that and after that, but no, I think the kind of more set-piece plays for Faze were just not working out. Usually I would say Tikuok, Darkmeister, those guys were doing such a great job actually in just kind of locking down Tikuok on the rotation, Darkmeister on the anchor spot, and really I was just thinking, wow, the game plan just completely fizzled out for Faze here. They have also had they didn't have the reps coming into this, because I thought this was a super questionable pick. It looked really questionable until they
I agree with
that
Maui. I thought this was an interesting pick too. I would have picked Cash from what I've seen from Faze. I think a map that suits them more, suits their players more. And we saw them, like, I was impressed with their Cash. Like, when I've watched their Cash, I was impressed. Was that nuke then? I'm not impressed by the nuke. I think it was more the Mongols were a little bit worse. Whereas I think they have some really good ideas on Cash. And they're playing well together on that map. So, but they won it, so it was a good pick. You can't say it's a bad pick if they won the map. So, good pick by Faze.
To get so much control of the lower bomb site. I have to point out Tikuok there. This is super questionable. The way that he just watch how this next death comes about, where he just walks through. Oh, actually, it already happened.
I appreciate that.
He walked through the right side smoke. Down ramp before his teammates
I could easily become an assistant coach or something. I mean, I did, I head coached Cloud9 and Gen G and then Fnatic and Valorant, so. But I appreciate that.
The even 2v2 state was, yeah, just super clunky.
I think you even see it in the techno engagement. I mean, you take that fight, you have to.
Mongol's B site was strong though. No, maybe scared of that.
There are already 2 people shooting at you.
What are you talking about, Dima? Are you talking about Cash?
Yeah.
He tries to run away because he doesn't want to lose the advantage. Then they lose the bomb site. Then Tikuok walks through a smoke.
Oh yeah, you are talking about Cash, so I didn't read your whole message.
Okay, well, if you're on the
yeah, but you can't be scared of one. Like, you can't just be like they're good at being holding B and I'm not going to pick the map.
The T side, so it feels like both of these teams struggling with it there. But more importantly, you want to remember the highs.
I'd play into my strengths. I always like to play into my strengths, what I'm confident in.
The CT side was phenomenal. The biggest standout player for us, we've said it before, is J-Bone, right? He looked great.
There's a balance though, right? Like, if both teams are really good at a map, you go, oh, it's going to be the third map, and it ends up as the third map. But
well, the CD side is why I question.
I think I have an edge.
Because when they had it picked against them, they
on a
had
map,
some success,
then
but they started on the CD
I'm going to go with all my players are confident and trust my players. Unless you're a massive underdog, right? Like, which I don't think either team is here, right? But let's say you were ranked 30 and you were playing Vitality or Falcons. Right, then if Vitality's second best map is nuke, but my best map's nuke, I'm not picking nuke. Well, if their third best map, right, I'm going to go in, I'm going to pick, what's Vitality's worst map that they're going to let me play? And I might pick an Ancient, even though Ancient might be my 4th best map. If I'm a big underdog, because you're trying to create variance. But in a Faze vs Mongols matchup, I don't know who's the favourite here. You know what I mean? Like, they're both, I'd say, kind of around the same level right now, so I'd play into them. That's how I think, right? Other people think differently
like when they were trying to
when they're doing their thing.
The mini wall side, when he just got to just feast upon them, those kinds of rounds maybe question the Blitz IGLing, but in the ones where he actually created his own space and really was taking the fight to Mongols, I have to give him nothing but praise.
We should still focus on the highs for Mongolz because it needed to go that over time, right? Yeah, a little bit was fumbled.
Mongols are such a trust the vibes team, but they keep trusting the process when they should really pause, take a breath, and come. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure.
But when we look at it,
it's hard to have the vibes being good when you've lost that many rounds in a row. Like, the comms often tend to just go quiet and go a bit dead, so I'm not sure the vibes would have been there to be trusted.
In the earlier parts of that,
I don't know.
For their start, Maui, you're like, wow, these guys are pretty much veterans, it felt like.
The current
Early
look Faze
on, they
look
were
confident.
Infallible. Darkmeister on A, the way that Ticklock was able to rotate. I love the little
I'm not
two-man
sure
game
it's...
between them.
Twist
That
looks
because
confident.
FaZe are going for an A hit here,
Like,
where
he's
Darkmeister's able to
calling,
just
he's still
stay
making
alive.
plays.
Ticklock already
You
rotated
can
from
criticize
left,
some of the
was able
plays
to
he
read
made,
his play
right? Like, I
coming
think there was a
in,
CT side, like, there was a
so
couple of
the way that
CT
they're
side
able to
rounds
just
he
kind
won,
of,
right? He was doing a
assemble
really
that
good job being
beautiful
active
defense on
outside.
top of each other. You could even
Getting
see
a
that
lot of
when,
info when maybe
Darkmeister
Faze's
was
utility
mauling out of that
wasn't the
angle.
best,
Ticklock is
but
making
he was
sure
kind
that
of
he's
getting that.
helping him, and
He
that
was
kind of
getting what they
synergy
needed on
is
those
something
CT
that
rounds.
I
And I think there was another
really
CT
gonna
round though
love
where you
moving
watched it
forward,
and you're
that
like,
these guys
oh,
can
he's
just
being a
play
bit aggressive
off of each
here.
other in such a
And did get
seamless
caught
way,
off guard.
even
But he's
as they
confident, right?
join
You can't
and
say
fight
Twist
against
isn't
a
playing
tier 1 team like
confidently,
FaZe.
and you
I
gotta
think
respect
they
that,
did a
right? Like,
great job on the CT
if you want to
side
make plays and
especially,
make great
but
plays,
the
you're gonna make
question
some
I have
bad
is how
plays.
FaZe attacked them. I mentioned in the
Twist
pregame
obviously has the
against
experience
Heroic, you
making
saw
plays as an
Mongolz
individual.
struggled on upper execs, out hot, out squeaky. Darkmeister can't.
The rest of the team, I don't know. I mean, like, Frozen's obviously gonna do
Here,
like.
against pistols, he gets very
I'd be
dangerous
confident if
there.
I was
They don't
Frozen.
run- I don't think they run a true upper exec. They run
Bone
a
seems to be
split 2 or
finding his
3
legs,
times.
but
They don't run
I'm
a
not sure if
true
they're
upper
confident
exec
as a
the entire
team on T
map,
side
the
in
entire
particular.
time on
Like, I
the T
think
side.
The one thing
individually they
also
might have
about this
confidence,
round
but
that
as a
actually worked
team,
in
I don't think
Ticklock's
they
favor is that
mega
there was so
confident.
much outside
I know
pressure
it's a
and door pressure,
long-winded
that's why he
answer,
actually
but
rotated over.
hopefully that makes
If
sense.
they didn't give any inkling that there was going to be this sort of A play or that there was this outside door focus, then he might have still been sat at ramp, and then it would have just been Darkmeister left by himself.
I'm gonna
But
have a
thankfully,
quick
FaZe, they sort of telegraphed
drink
some of the
break, and
plays
I'm
that
gonna
they were
run
running on the T side,
ads
which
so
they
that we don't
played
get
into
ads
Mongol's
during.
favor.
Yeah, I think Ticklock and Darkmeister, great job on the defense.
I'll
They're
be
in the
right
right
back.
position. They're playing really effectively off of each other, but at the same time, make their lives hard. Throw some flashes, throw some mollies, make Darkmeister reposition. That's what he's going to be uncomfortable with, not face it-esque, I'm peeking on the side of Silo, I'm peeking on the other side. They're just trying to, duel out. Even if it's a good strat, it's not a great strat to pounce on the rookies.
And they're going to have that time now. They didn't take their timeouts during the map, but I'm hoping that that's the conversation that occurs where you look towards what is going to be Mirage for them is we need to step that up a little bit more, a little bit of strength for them. Now, I feel like you want to say something. You can say something super quickly.
Well, look at them in their chairs. This is what the Mongol special when they don't have Mara. They just sit in their chairs the whole time and they just deathmatch the whole time, or they're just doing aimbots half the time. That's the one concern I have. I don't think it's really a mental reset. They just say shoot harder. That's sometimes the mantra of the Mongols.
Well, then we're going to take a step back. Maybe the Mongols won't do it for themselves, but we will to just before this series where Banks was catching up with Ticklewack and how he's feeling coming into his first LAN.
Ticklewack, first time in Tier 1 Counter-Strike. You're wearing the Mongolz jersey. You had the online period. You were in Serbia. Now you're in Malta. First time traveling. How has this whole journey been for you so far?
So far, it's my first time in Europe, so feels good. But some things are kind of bad for me, I guess, because the food is not.
It's not the same.
It's
right?
not for me, Yeah.
Focusing on Counter-Strike, how are you handling all the new information and all the new things that Blitz, that the team is asking you to do?
Blitz, we have a lot of tactics, and I've been making some mistakes for some time, and like for now, I think I am like not gonna do mistakes because we've done so much scrims and some stuff. And yeah, I think I'm not gonna make mistakes.
And just your own performance so far, how do you feel about it? Like, what is your thoughts? Not what the team says, not what other people say, but how confident do you feel in your own gameplay so far?
About my game plan, I think I'm not 100% being myself right now, because I'm still like adapting to the team stuff and communication and some stuff, and I really think that I'm kind of like not playing myself because I have a fear that I'm gonna like make mistakes and some stuff. And I hope this feelings is gonna fade away after some time.
I'm sure it will. And I also just want to ask you a bit personally, when did you first start playing Counter-Strike?
I think it was right before COVID.
Okay, not so long ago.
I think it was 2020 or 2019. But like during COVID, I played the most. But after COVID, I really didn't play that much because I was doing school and some stuff. And I think in 2025 is when I started taking Counter-Strike seriously.
And when did you want to be a professional player? When did you think that, like, this is what I want to do as a job?
I think, like, at first I really didn't think that I was going to be a professional player.
Oh, wow.
But, like, there was this, like, news about, like, Mongolz having a academy team. And I just wanted to, like, try myself out, and I just gave all my info, and then they accepted me. And that's when I started, like, okay, I am going to be pro, and so, yeah.
All the information you could want about Tikwak there, from not necessarily enjoying the food for his first time in Europe to also his career start here. He just gave it a shot. He said, "Yo, Mongolz, the academy team, if you're interested, I'm also interested." And look where he's at now. Unfortunately, not necessarily the start that they wanted when it comes to being able to win Faze's map pick, but still in a position where you're in this best of 3. You know how close this competition is, and now you're moving into something that should be more comfortable, Maui, because they picked it, right, Mirage?
You would think so, but without having any officials under their belt with this 5-man lineup, it's a worrying prospect for this team, because the way that I'd say Mongolz would love to play this map was just that there was just this push and pull across the map all the time. Like, Blitz was usually just creating a little bit of chaos in middle.
88% win rate for Faze in the last...
activate from Palace,
it's insane, right? That's 8 of 9 maps. It has to be 80.
On the site. And Tikwak, who slotted in 1-for-1 on so many of those spots, I don't know if he has that sense of timing. I don't know if he always knows when is
Thank you for the sub, Noble.
To try to catch Jacob, who should be anchoring the A-bomb site, with his pants down, or trying to assist in some top con fight.
And then you still have the question to answer on the CT side, which will likely be the second half, is Cobra Zero is actually their B player.
And you're right.
And you had
I need to set up
A.
some...
So where are you going to end up putting... You're
trusty
expecting
whiteboard.
usually Tikwak, he's on ramp,
Set
he
up
might be their anchor. I think you might have some positions rotated around more than just a replacement player being slotted in.
Well, now I have so many more questions
I don't know
about
what that
Mongolz,
means,
right?
but I know there's sub stuff
we
on
haven't seen
Twitch
what this
that
5 is, but
people
what do you
get
expect? You're saying
emotes or something.
rotations
I
might
don't
happen,
know.
but how consistently is
I don't
that
know.
going to be? Like, at what point is it too
But I think
much
it's
that no
probably
one's
important,
finding comfort?
so I'm gonna write it down.
Without Mara, where are they going to find stability?
I think the fact that they picked it speaks that they have practiced the map, they are comfortable on it. It is their kind of their classical home map. This is the map where they found so much success against even the best of Mirage teams. You would still never see teams want to pick Mirage against Mongolz. But I do harken back to what you're talking about, the push and pull they had. I think when they had the change up with Senzu, they played a lot more grouped up. And when they've made this next change, I think they're playing even more grouped up in terms of the exits they need to be going for and their ability to push and pull teams when you have a 5v4 and you know how the rotations are going to be working.
Push and
you can
pull
still
teams.
take a great engagement. That's one of the things that I think we were missing from Mongolz.
Vu would have
right
done his
now.
research. It is
Really classic to
so
their Mirage. It was so integral to their success on this map.
That's also kind of why at the end of last season they sort of moved away from Mirage being their pick to Inferno, because then it just became Blitz and Techno with 6 years of experience playing next to each other on Banana, controlling the primary action. But the problem is that Techno himself recognizes that he's not quite as sharp.
Might
as he
have
was
a
in the past. Like
delay.
he's been kind of relegated to, well, I wouldn't even say relegated. He just simply isn't really that guy anymore. And I think that this is where Mirage feels the most like the whole of Senzu is unfilled. Nobody stepped up to the plate entirely. Yes, 910 can be great on the CT side.
Is it just me, or is the Mongol strat so often just shoot better when really they just
force that Senzu used to be when he's
exacerbate any hole they might find themselves in?
Play off each other, getting con or
feels like that sometimes.
Faze could potentially
On the
close
T
this
side.
best of 3 out though in a 2-0 overtime for
I think they're good at calling simply. They call it well, right? That's not an insult. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think they struggle a little bit in the more
I don't think they were particularly bad on the map. I don't think it was as impressive enough that I would have expected them to allow it for a map 3 if Mongolz didn't pick it. You know, this is a map where Faze, they have their execs, they have some really well coordinated executes if they go for it, but I think they struggle when teams get a little bit more effective on their defense, when they can't just find control. We saw in a couple middle of their series, they struggled with actually getting control of the early rounds, the early stages of mid, getting con control, getting ladder control, really
Have they taken
proved
away our
troublesome for
timer?
them, and then they would have to fall back into executes. And while Mirage is turning
minute
into
to the match
over
start,
time
okay?
more of a CT-sided map, a lot of teams are struggling with that. I don't think FaZe necessarily have great answers when those problems arise.
So that's why I think that FaZe probably need 8 minimum rounds for their defense here. Maybe with a pistol you could allow something like 7, but no, I think 8 is a minimum. But I'm pretty scared for Mongolz here, because I think that the J-Bone, Twist, Frozen trifecta in middle can be potent enough against a Mongolz team that is in a very much so fledgling state.
Well, the benchmark has been set. FaZe are going to need to fire up, or at least continue over the fire of what was a strong finish for them in Nuke. But we'll see exactly how Mirage is going to start between FaZe and Mongolz.
Just check Mongol's T-side win rate was 31%.
Losses necessary.
Do you mean on all maps, or are you talking about
Is, but,
Nuke?
maybe this is
Or
too short a period
what
of
was
time for the
31%?
youngsters, the
And
new
what was the
hands
time period?
on Mongolz to recover? We shall see. The numbers are growing for Mongolz, so perhaps
Start
there
off
is
with the
more opportunity in that
Lacoste.
respect. There certainly will be for them in Mirage. The potential is there. You heard it from the desk and how many rounds they
Polo?
think that FaZe need on this
I was
CT
wearing that
side.
earlier
So if
today.
Mongolz can keep a level head, perhaps they can take
Mirage.
it to a third map.
So they've
but
picked a map. They have a
again,
31% win rate
there
on the
is
attack
growth
on
to be had
T-side.
from loss, but first,
Over
even
how
this
long?
morning,
Like, how many
I think
maps
it's
is
hard
that?
to recover from a lead like that, especially when you're so young with a crowd in front of you.
Yeah, and I feel like
Marvin,
there's a lot of
thank you,
holes here
brother.
for the Mongols in the boats, but we'll see if they're able to still make it to their destination. Here on the Mirage, the Mongols will be
The
starting
Mirage,
out on
10
the
maps,
T-side.
2026, 31% win rate. That's
So
not.
much success on their CT side.
We'll see what they got for us. They've started. They've been forced to start
We'll see
T-side.
exactly.
Be exec off the
How this
rip.
B Apartments play is going to find its way
Lot
into
of-
the B site. FaZe are not on the
A lot
site.
of spread out utility.
Jacob is top mid though, already. Very quickly indeed. We'll see if he chooses
They've
to
read
rotate
FaZe
over
well.
to help Twist, or if he opts for the flank. The utility's coming through. Angles will be taken away. Twist not quite getting what he's looking for yet.
It's going to be hard for
Still
FaZe.
standing though,
B
taking
site
one in the face,
retake.
10 HP for him.
It's a gamble with this pistol, right?
Frozen.
You get. You kind of. We'll
Slowly
win.
start
We'll win
rotating
everywhere
over
else,
the
but if they
bombs
be
and that
exec,
bomb
we're
is
going to be
blocked.
struggling.
FaZe looking for that, just that first opening. They have a smoke, but no other pieces of utility to get them in. They need to shoot their way in. It's going to be very challenging. And here we go, the first test through Catwalk.
Where's the
Jacob
trade?
leading the charge here. Good defense, though, coming in from the Mongols, sending out the numbers. And it's a struggle for FaZe to get in here. Frozen, important frag, but there it is. Tikuak is able to defend.
And even with the opener, that's too hard.
Bowen goes down as well. And there you go, the Mongols. they
Untraded
pick up
opener.
their
That's
T-pistol.
site Mirage.
Really hard problem to solve when Mongols understand that the remainder of FaZe are all
So
coming
FaZe,
from the
right? They
same
just kind of like if they
position.
mid-split us,
Simply abusing the
or
numbers
if
on
they
the
go
CT
A, we're
side
going to
will
be in a really
allow
good spot to win that.
promising start here
But then
for
when they
the
be exec,
Mongols.
we're in a
Great to
terrible
see
spot, which
the
is
young chap Tikuak
taking a
getting
little
some
bit of a
kills
gamble, right?
immediately
With
as
that
well.
pistol
Came
round,
into
it just
this
doesn't
one
pay
as
off.
focused as he was
Mongols picked the
in
right thing.
the first. So Mongols will definitely have something to say about how this story ends, but the question of whether they are or not they can take it to Ancient will prevail for a while. God, it's got to feel good to have a comeback like that on Nuke.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's your map pick as well, you know. There was a world where they were going to lose it, you know, just with a horrible scoreline, and so just there's so many elements there that certainly have to feel really good, and it's a great way to, you know, win your first map in the series in terms of like getting everybody warm and feeling good, just from every single perspective. So it's going to be an interesting one here to figure out, you know, are FaZe going to be going for a force buy, or are they going to go for a full save? See if they can get Jay Bowen onto the AWP as soon as possible. That seems like it's, to me, just with how he's been playing,
Not sure on
you
his tech
kind of
pause
want to
is.
try to get him onto the AWP as soon as you can.
Yeah, keep that fire burning for sure. Nothing doing just yet in that regard. Take pause for a moment before we resume things. Yeah, we saw good output from both snipers on the first map of this series, and I'm sure that will continue on Mirage as well. But again, I think he was 20 for 4 on that CT side in regulation was Jay Bowen on Nuke. Very handy indeed. But perhaps he won't get as many sitters as he might, peeking here and there on Mirage. You still have confidence for Mongolz?
I mean, it's interesting. I think they're going to have to fight for their confidence a little bit. Obviously, this is a much more comfortable map, but the performance on Nuke, I think, is going to just feel pretty awful. So
Handing around the
if they can
Snickers
get
bars.
A string of rounds here to open up the T side.
What
You know,
that look
I feel
like?
confident that the Mongols can kind of get back to the form that you would expect from them. I think that more of the question.
I thought if you were hungry, you would have eaten between
what is
the
the ceiling
maps.
going to look
But,
like for Faze?
you know,
How
sometimes you
close
get a bit
are they
bored during
to
the
a
tech
Hero Mirage? Because
pause.
based off of the performance individually we saw in the previous map, they are going to be dangerous on this map. So you know the Mongols need
Players
to
are
make
talking.
the most of this start.
Yeah, the CT side was
Which is normally not allowed in a tech pause, so I'm not maybe we're about to come out of it, I don't know.
Again, we saw a quiet game from A2.
Maybe Faze just being a bit cheeky.
Doing a whole lot versus what I'm sure he would have liked to have done. But we'll see how this one starts once we resume things. Good old Mirage. Been here for a very long time, but how many people know how to smoke mid, Dan? 15% maybe if we're lucky.
Get the...
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be really interested to see what Jay Bowen does when he does get the AWP, because it's such a classic.
What's the rule with comms between players solely
aggressive
during
kind of
tech? It's
everywhere
just
and
you're
keep
not
the
allowed to
opponents
talk.
guessing, and
It's
there's a
pretty
lot of
consistent
strength
across
in
all
just showing that that's kind of the game you want to play with the AWP, because then the T side
all
has
games,
to treat every single
all
position,
event
both
organizers
extremities
is
and
no
mid,
talking,
with
right? Because otherwise
respect
you
that,
could,
hey, an AWP can be posted here.
like,
I
it's
can't
not
just
going to be in
walk
this
into
situation,
angles
but
for
if you're
free,
in
and
a,
that tends to then
like, you've
add
used
a
all your
utility
timeouts,
cost
you just,
to
oh,
you
kick the
kind of going
cable or
anywhere and
whatever,
feeling safe
right? Like
about
something
it.
cheeky
So-
like that,
so
and you
that's
just get
that's another
a
reason why I'm
tactical
like, it makes-
timeout. So
I
you're not
wanna
supposed
see
to talk
Jay
at all,
Bowen getting onto the AWP very
right?
quickly.
And
On the flip side, one thing
the
that was
admins are
interesting
humans
during the
too,
break
so if you,
was
like, if the FaZe players
his,
start
you know,
joking
his
with each
move
other
up
about
to top flight
something that's just
Counter-Strike.
silly, right? Like,
There may be a fear of
personal
okay,
joke or whatever,
there are
like the
things that I
admin
could get away
should tell them to
with
be
against,
quiet,
like
but
lower ranked teams, perhaps I might not.
you know, it's a
so
social
there
thing,
may
right?
be
The admin's not going to be
fear
like,
of
bang, we're going
overextension,
to
which
penalize
may
FaZe
end
off
up
the
being
rip
aggressive
for
as it might be
saying,
like a year
like,
down the line from now or 9 months down the
we don't know
line
if
from
it was a
now.
repeat
That's a question
offence
for
that
him
they'd
to
probably get in
answer
trouble, but I don't
as
think we've
this
ever
game
actually
goes
seen
through.
anyone
We are resuming things
get in
now,
trouble for that.
so
So
doesn't look like much is being brought.
if you want to
by
be
the
really
side
smart, you
of
could work out some kind of
FaZe.
code language, but it'd be a
Happy
massive waste
great
of
for
time as
Twist
opposed
is
to
the
just
only
practicing
notable thing,
normally.
really, as Mongolz are in anti-eco territory.
Yeah, we'll see how clean that looks from them. We've got a big surge on Catwalk here from the FaZe side. All 4 players looking to find a timing to pop. Now that smoke in mid-window is still active, so Twist can't really get active from that position to draw any crosshairs. And it's just going to be, you know, the lineup there from FaZe to just punish the player that tries to entry around Cat.
Players
You say big
texting,
surge,
chat
it
and
should
Cologne.
be
I think
as
all
big as a
chat is
2 hour
normally
as far
pretty
as
chill, right?
Mongols
Because
are
you're typing in
concerned.
all chat. They don't.
But
If you're
it still
chatting at the
remains
other
to be
team,
dealt
they
with.
don't really get very.
Mongols with good position to start off the round, keeping their options open. And these MAC-10s can get to work as well. I mean, they may, if they can find the opportunity. I don't think they understand how many people are around that ding from short there, but they are circumventing the threat for now.
Yeah, really not that much here, and because it's just USPs, they might want to try to get aggressive, see if they can take some weapons away here. MAC-10 is hiding. They get rid of the MAC-10 quickly. That's nice. And Jacob takes down Darkmite, so already it feels like they're getting more than you would expect.
Good eco.
But again, weaponry is not good, and they're not going to be able to upgrade here. You got 9-10 ensuring of that very
got
fact.
the 3 guns though.
The upgrade there for Techno as well, so looks like it should be limited to 2 deaths here for the Mongols.
I love the confidence of 9-10 there, not wanting to give anything away for free to FaZe. Weapons on the floor, happy to hold position with full armor and deal with the threat. Really good work, good urgency from Mongols. Again, they can't really afford to give anything away by being slack to a FaZe clan who are still on a high from that comeback on Nuke. Opposite can be said for Mongols, but it's a good start. They've righted the ship early on Mirage.
Yeah, they definitely have, and you know now it's going to be the first test against the Bayern FaZe, but it's going to be a little bit more limited just insofar as they're not going to have any
so we got no
AWP in
AWPs.
play just yet from Jay Bowen. We will see FaZe getting aggressive, dropping Twist down into that lower position, underpass, control, quick HE to top mid. It's going to try
Good
to find
mid
some
fight.
damage, sets up Jacob. Jacob delivers. Will get traded out. Twist though forced to push there with that exposed position, and it's a 3 versus 2 now in favor of the Mongols. Frozen goes.
It's a classic mid fight, right?
Get aggressive here, but
First
it's
team I saw do that
backfiring.
was Spirit.
Maybe a miracle required now for
Just
Nate to
punishes
get
any
something done.
fast
He won't be able
kind of
to.
mid
Dealt
take,
with
but
on short by Tikawak.
Mongols able to trade out well.
Again, a name we're mentioning a lot early on. He is 4 for 0 at present, the only one who hasn't gone down for Mongols thus far. So indeed, a really good start. I think Maui said 7 to 8 rounds required for FaZe on their CT side. Still looking for their first, but this got expensive real quick.
Yeah. it's interesting because, you know, one of the things that, you know, on the CT side within a round like that is you're bringing the fights to the T side. The Mongols haven't necessarily showed that they have a default that's super effective yet, so we'll see how the rounds progress. We'll return to that story in a moment because it looks like the Mongols looking to go for maybe cheeky timing here on the T ramp. They're in a pretty close position there to start peeking into the site. They know they're going to be against pistols.
We've seen a lot of resolution for CT sides around and under the window at Blast Bounty, making aggressive plays with an AWP elsewhere. So we'll see how that approach continues for Faze once the next rounds come through. Great baiting there by Darkmeister.
Curious on how the LAN outside of the match. Are there rules on when teams can or cannot do before match, especially talking about the later starts or rolling starts? So the rule generally is, let's say you're playing next, right? Is this game started at, let's say it started at 6 PM, whatever time zone you're in, then the rule would be you have to be here at the stadium at 7 PM. So obviously you're not going to play, you know, best of 3 situation, right? Because you're not going to play 2 maps in 1 hour. So you need to be at the stadium ready to play 1 hour after the match before you starts. And then if you're the first game like these guys, it'll be 2 hours before. Like you have to be there 2 hours before generally, right? That can change depending on the tournament organizer, but that's how they generally deal with rolling schedules. And if it's not a rolling schedule, it's just 2 hours or 1.5 hours before, depending on what needs to be done.
Maybe there's a way you can get in there and sneak in and steal the gun away, but
something for another day.
Yes.
4-0 for Mongolz. Diop is back for Jabone, looking for his first frag, as is Natu.
Hey, Cobra.
Lean on a CT side, that'll partly be where Mongols choose to go. Jabone's got middling spawn. Could be better, could be worse. So I don't expect anything crazy.
The piece of paper in the plastic sleeve reminds me of when I was at school.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that you could maybe look at that very aggressive round that we saw from FaZe previous in their first gun round. It's maybe a round that can buy space into the future rounds, because the Mongols should be now wary that, hey, FaZe might just go very aggressive in the very opening timings of the round. If you're thinking round to round and conditioning, maybe that's the idea for FaZe. Maybe it gives J-Bone, depending on his spawn, a little bit of extra space to work with, because the Mongols maybe will slow down their opening of their rounds, maybe giving up a little bit more space to just account for these more forward timings that FaZe might find at the beginning of their CT side.
DDK made a good point then about the conditioning. He's bang on.
10. Could definitely throw a spanner in the works.
FaZe have a mouse dongle issue.
Something
apparently.
unexpected for FaZe.
They're going to suspect the player hasn't charged his mouse properly.
But again, Blitz, 9-10 Tikawak.
What if they're waiting for matches? So normally what they have is they'll have,
3 frags for
at the back, they'll have 2 full sets of practice PCs. So the team before he's on stage, obviously, at the match, and they'll have 7 PCs, at least 5, right? But good tournament organizers probably have 6 or 7 PCs backstage. So the coach has 1 too.
And that could be pretty
where the players can warm up and whatever, and they'll be identical. They should be identical to the ones on stage. So you get there, you have a full setup. You just have to plug in your peripherals, obviously.
Spawns in the direction of B, but he will be, I think, deploying the smoke into mid, and it's going to be a prompt-looking one towards Adan. So quick it will be by all the indicators. Ready to swing on the ramp then. Jacob will have a flash, have a look, but again, there's an ugly Mac-10 to pop him immediately.
Early aggression from FaZe today. They were light on B again, just like the pistol.
In position, but the frags are not going their way. Techno bursts through the smoke here. Frozen trying to defend from Ticket, but all eyes on him. Now Twist has to make a desperate play through the smoke into the pocket. It's not working out at all here for FaZe. They had the best setup. They had all the players in position. They had a close T-Ramp player. You couldn't ask really for a better situation for FaZe at the beginning of the round, but they get wiped out.
Yeah, Mac-10 means freedom and chaos. I don't think there was a helmet to fight against that Mac-10, so it was a quick deletion on the ramp. And then flying around the stairs and so on. It's just like, it's just a perfect ingredient to just break everything you're doing. Oh dear.
Oh, hello.
Ships passing in the night.
Yes. Oh, he's...
Oh,
okay, there we go.
They're both wondering. But Native will be able to hold on to something at the very least. So we don't see any impact for Jaboin just yet. I mean, with a pace like that and utility, it's going to be hard to get going with the AWP, but he's still looking for his first round at Tikawak's been expired on as well.
Oh, the actual like pre-spray there, that's cool. But yeah, one thing I'll say, James, is that the Mongolz popping there, which is one of the things that feels scary, is because if Faze get aggressive in mid or play a variety of other setups.
Oh, that timing's beautiful.
Yeah, the pop's just going to wreck them. But they actually had everybody in position for a rush timing on the A site. They had basically 4 players there.
Yeah.
That's going to feel horrible for Faze not to be able to defend.
Yeah, again, the guy on the ramp with no helmet just got insta-gib like we're playing Quake. But
They're going back to it, James.
They're doing it again. They've got a lurker top mid this time. Jaboin has a scout.
See the flash for this? Doesn't look like there is going to be a flash for Jaboin, so Jaboin should get a kill.
Contact.
I got a scout, my bad, that was not.
Again, opportunity there. It works out though because the HE comes and delivers. Might be something more here for them to work with.
2 moving through short for Faze. They're doing it on the A bomb site, an unlikely looking round, but they're finding some traction now. That's a very big difference maker. Is the bomb committed on this A bomb site? Blitz has found a third. Yes, they can rotate the bomb. They haven't gone crazy in that respect as Blitz is taking all the frags down, leaving Jaboin to try and contest him with a scout. He might be able to do it, but no. Blitz finds an ace in that mid position. How do they turn that round around like that?
Unbelievable. The fact that he just casually aces, and definitely a position that Faze were not really expecting. I think, again, like if we look at the previous round, it was a full shove into the A site, and all it took was one player to just catch the rotation. Response there, and Blitz just wins every single 1v1. Obviously, a little bit of spray there through the wood. Yeah,
this is just like refrag challenges, the way that one played out for him.
Insane.
And again, Mongolz hadn't overcommitted with the bomb over towards the either. 910 was rotating. Blitz beat him to the round win though, just deleting everybody in that mid position.
Yeah. What a save from him. Now he's going.
So Jaboin rotated from window straight to ticket, but then didn't play top ticket, and then Twist is playing in front of the smoke there, but I don't think the smoke had bloomed yet when Twist died. There was no smoke on bottom con.
They need information. They've got to figure out what's going on.
Jacob's doing part of that. I mean, it's so risky as well, just having to go on your own and just kind of shoulder peek stuff, no flashes, nothing. Just guessing. Tikawak quickly dealt with though. Jaboin sees problems in mid through that connector spot. 910 will go and have a look, and maybe things are going back in their favor as he just keeps getting opportunities now. 2 frags for him, 2 remaining for the Mongols, creeping towards B as Natu tries to find a good angle and some good timing on these players, but he's being looked for.
Oh, Blitz, he might have found the timing right now because I don't think they have any idea he's this deep. Blitz, if he can just keep going, he's going to find something. Natu still has no idea, but Frozen peeks the corner. He's just ready. And the first round will go to Faze. I got to say, James, I think the Mongols, they paused too long on catwalk.
Who do I think are the best prospects?
Such a great position.
I actually
allowed
don't know,
Jaboin to activate on that long channel with the AWP, and suddenly this advantage.
I think it
just vanishes.
Obviously, there's people doing a lot more scouting than me. They're going to get picked up, right?
The smoke there, not
like they're going to get picked up by teams that need players, right? Like Faze or
there as well.
Who's going to pick up the
It feels
Mongolian
like
players.
the way the first half started.
I don't
with
have
the roles
any
reversed. It's the first game, sorry.
Joe,
6-1
I'm sorry
lead now
to say.
for Mongolz. Very key for Faze to start building.
910's in an interesting position this round, James, because he's in Palace, but for him to really activate from Palace with the AWP, he needs a teammate to open things up for him. He needs someone to pull crosshairs away so he can find a timing and an angle with that AWP.
Nade.
Nice meaty apple for Blitz. Really good spread from Mongolz as Twist is dropped by 910. Keeping everything covered. Jaboin now maybe out of action for a while in mid with a smoke up with AWP. He might need to get over towards CT as Tikawak teases Jacob on the ramp. The pre-fire looking real nice, and 910's back again.
Good round by Mongolz.
910 will continue.
Getting that Palace all posted is dangerous, right? It really restricts the movement of that con player. Catches Twist off guard.
With nothing to rotate for. And again, it's back in the
it's
bin
a simple
for
round.
Faze. 7-1 scoreline now.
Annoying
Yeah,
to
and I
deal
gotta say,
with.
I love the way that Tikawak handled that fight because that fight was interesting. He didn't actually have to necessarily try to take it and attract the attention there, but because he had a teammate that was coming to help. So he actually played to delay with his fight. You could see he wasn't fully committing to a swing, and he just happened to get the frag just as his teammate arrives to be able to trade
No
his
reppy. This
position with him.
is
So
Rainbow Six
great
Siege.
awareness from the youngster there, and a really nice round here. He's not expecting Tikurak, or rather, sorry, 910 to be in that position in Palace.
Natu fighting for his life. AK would be nice to hold on to, but they're losing grip of this entire half. A 7th round for Mongolz. Look at 910 charging through. Even he's amused at these crazy charges, but it's good to see good spirits in Mongolz again after a harrowing loss on Nuke. But they're back to the races once again. One more call back to the desk saying 7 or 8 rounds
Faze
for
quick with
Faze.
these timeouts.
Doesn't look likely now.
May as well use them, right?
Yeah,
Before the game's
just
done.
the defense falling apart there, and everybody from the Mongols doing their job. I gotta say, maybe 910.
This event's in Malta, I
With the
believe.
timing, but at the same time, you know, he's hitting a difficult shot there in that pixel gap, finds what he's looking for, and just opens up the push there from T-Ramp as reaction for the rest of the Mongols. So just
How good can
honestly,
BC
I love the
game
calling
be?
from the Mongols, and you can see that they're starting to feel
I think
confident. The only
BC
thing that
game,
kinda
it's one of
looked
those
sketchy
things,
was
right,
that round
where
the A hit didn't really work.
they've got
even though I
talent
think that was a
there,
good call,
but
and it was Blitz who just
it comes down to how well
aced
people
anyway.
work.
So
You gotta work well as a
7-1
team.
the scoreline now for the Mongols, as they're not letting Faze in.
It's hard to bring in people from different cultures and make them mix, and
2 for 6 is Jabot.
there's some pretty strong cultures on that roster, so I'm not sure. I think that'll be the
performance on Nuke.
hard thing.
Smokes in the window as per. We'll see where he chooses to go. Again, didn't have a great spawn to really make a play towards B or similar on this particular round.
Still got a heavy mid default, no on A. So
aggression
looking
from
like a B
Faze.
split.
They can maybe try to dictate stuff, but 910 is a hard person to dictate to. Darkmeister drops by Natu as Twist tries to fight, but the trades will continue. But hold on a second, there is a man advantage here for Faze as the Jaboin spots action towards B. Techno and Blitz still standing for the time being. Natu dealt with.
Yeah, this is important for Techno, trying to create space, create attention,
Techno's
whilst the teammate gets the bomb. Have to win this fight.
Hit some shots, man.
The bomb has been collected though, so that does give an option to fade away now. Opportunity flash to cover, and now there is a path onto the B bomb site. However, now Techno needs to somewhat activate to get more position as the AWP goes into kitchen, and the cross can be covered. But you can see Jay Bowen not exactly sure where the T's are right now. He's going to give up the position.
Same for Jacob. He clearly didn't see the bomb going into Apps there after the awkward duel in mid. Couldn't round the corner in time. Now Mongol's cut noise. Makes sense for Faze to move together. Jaboin's lost his angles over towards B. Because he's even unsure about the
Hard
window
retake
position,
to
so
win.
very compromised indeed. There is a kit on the B bomb site. Close towards shorts. Looking for the quick scope now. Oh no, he scoped in. Not sure if he's been heard. Techno and Blitz playing it real careful.
The delay here, the delay game is really huge. Gotta be careful, the AWP. Jay Bowen gets activated into this position, but Blitz now can just play the dodging game, just trying to juke away from the CT, burn as much on the clock as possible. Timing, huge, and it's going to be a very fast rack from Jacob, but is there time to get the defuse in here? That's ticking a really fast here. I don't know if there's time for this one. Jacob, oh, he just barely secures it. Unreal there. A much needed round win for Faze to put them now 2 against the 7 of the Mongols.
Really big round. Really big round, and they need a few more of those before this half is done. I say that, this is a score they had in Nuke, but I mean, you can't expect a repeat of that. Especially as the CT side was the target for these rounds.
I do love that round, James, you know. The Faze can always go to that mid.
Notice none of these phase rounds really come down to utility usage or management or macro. They all just come down to active fights, right? No one really wants to let the round play out. That makes sense. Like it's
910 and Techno looking to move together and be apartments maybe.
It's all about using the utility for fights rather than
Having a look around
See what I
the
mean?
corner of that
Like, we're
smoke
always
dark
looking for
line.
fights. There's none of this
Very sharp frag,
utility
and that's
management.
alone
It's
to
like both
try and
teams
get
want to
multi.
win
He
by
blitz, but
taking
he's got
good
to realize
fights, and
someone
they
else
use
is
their
there.
utility to
Catches the
take
player
good
on the pass
fights.
as well, does Twist, but he
Like
will
that's
be
what they're
traded.
using their
Again,
utility in
it's a
these
graveyard
duels.
for both teams in that mid position, but this
But
time
neither team
Mongols
wants
are
to
one
play
to be
that
good.
utility game where you
Yeah,
try
they're
and you kind of
resetting
win
around
with
now as
util,
well. They've got
right?
a
Like
lot
you
of time
out
to work
util the
with.
other team. No,
And
neither
again,
team wants to
it
play
puts
like that,
FaZe in a
which
position where they've got to start
makes the rounds
gambling a little bit
entertaining. And we end up with
themselves,
lots of situations like this, right?
making his way
3v2s,
over towards the
2v2s.
B sides to cover that position. But this is very uncomfortable.
Techno's got to hear some of this rotation. He's got to have a good idea as to where these two players are as well. So I think his position is important. You can see him throwing some flashes, trying to run distraction, putting the CTs out of position as far as B is concerned. And look at the result of that. Died for his country. Tikuak and Dogmeister remain. They've got position on Frozen now. Looks out of the bomb site is Natu.
Oh, this is a tough one. This is a very, very difficult one. I mean, the choke points here to contest with, the space to cover from Catwalk. He already understands the urgency. You've got to go somewhat quick here. With time on the clock, no kit. Oh, well, there is a kit in hand here for Natu. He tries to close the distance. Knows where one player is, but there is going to be somebody playing off of this. Natu finds him. HE will do some good damage. Down to half health. Tikuak, 15 health here. Next bullet wins against Tikuak, but it's a headshot there onto Natu, and the Mongols seemingly indomitable here on the Mirage. It's really quite incredible.
Really nice work in the late round from Mongolz. Again, just had someone under the window there after all these exchanges in mid, got some sound cues. They need to find a way into that B bomb site, into these positions, so that third man
Let's see how these
pulls
last
them
two
back
rounds
towards
goes, and we
mid.
keep
Tikuak
seeing
gets
just
into
these
position,
fights from
and
both
then
teams.
Mongols can punish and make it really hard for
Good
FaZe as
eco
well.
here
As good
from
as they did
FaZe.
to get back onto the bomb site and get it down to a 1v1. It's a good setup there from Mongols, who keep their foot on the pedal. 8-2. Pistols out once again for FaZe. So hard for them to scrape rounds together on this CT side versus Mongols.
Oh, that smoke means taking connector feels very, very difficult. Okay, well, Blitz, again, Blitz is the
Twist
guy
has taken a
for the
few of
connector
these
kills, I
fights.
suppose, here for the Mongols.
These
So when this
aggressive
smoke goes
mid
away,
fights and connector.
opportunity
Blitz is
strikes.
just unaware.
Jabo and Frozen, both picking up one apiece. They have a man advantage now.
How do you feel about the change the reload
rounds.
rework? I actually don't think it's changed very
And I
much,
don't
to
know
be honest.
if Mongols
Doesn't
can
seem
really
to, at
recover what's
least.
been lost in this one. Again, all these rounds very urgent for FaZe. The bomb is not in their control.
The spams that
Mongols.
are important still happen, right?
Oh my god! No, not like that, Dogmeister! I cannot stress how embarrassing that is. That is everybody's nightmare when the blade comes out. Oh! I'm in physical pain from watching that.
Oh my god, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that.
Can't believe you've done this. Well, hey, it's another unlikely round for FaZe, but it doesn't matter how these rounds
Just
come.
unaware from Mongols that round.
Oh, not from the third person. Oh,
my days.
Stop showing it. Oh, my days, man. Listen, you've got to be brave enough to try.
At least the 8-3 up, at least, you know, that was a fairly unwinnable situation. You know, we move on,
Oh.
Better times. They're going to rush apartments. They're angry, James. They're angry. They got the Tech 9s out. Mac 10's there as well. They're going to run it down against the B defenders.
They weren't ready.
See what they can find. Okay, well, they get 2 instantaneous entries.
Wasn't it his util usage there
the
when he
last
got
round,
when
you've
he
gotta go for
when he
it.
spotted them? What util did
Another
he use?
dirty one, another grimy, gritty one.
Didn't look like he used anything, and
There are
Frozen
kids
was
for these
slow with his
players.
nade,
They've
which is
got
fair
the
enough.
numbers,
It's
but
not
they can't
his.
dwindle yet further as Techno will delete, and that will be a hell of an answer to that failed knife. 9-3 at halftime for Mongols.
Top 3 teams with the most firepower at the moment. I mean, Vitality, Falcons, and
It doesn't really get much better than this. That's the other problem.
it's
If
hard
someone
not to
don't
say
win this round,
Spirit
people
the
just-
donk.
I mean, are you going to get better chances than this one to try and do anything later on? Probably not. Nico's deep on the site.
Who would it be? Who-
Again, probably should be dead already. He's
I
gonna
don't
get
want
one
to say
kill there.
Spirit.
Good little
Not because
double
I
Vieri and
have a
might as
problem
well
with
for the triple
Spirit,
there.
but
Bonacy is in a lot of trouble. He no-scopes one of them. He keeps going. 10 seconds. He fakes the bomb, spins around, takes down Woody, and now he's on the hunt, running up close and
he had with
personal.
Sheeran.
What a flick! He doesn't
Donk,
have
you
the
kind
time
of
for
just
the
have to,
play.
don't
No,
you?
he can't do it, I think. Oh! How is that possible? What an absolutely godlike sequence from Monacy. He doesn't have to move so much. Now there is a Molotov on
Sheer
turtle.
on
He's gonna
Donk. I
throw
mean,
it.
no
He's
disrespect to
not deep
Zontix
enough.
and
Odyssey still could have the shot. Oh, and
Janir
there
and
it is.
Magix, but you wouldn't
One of
like
the
put them
best
at the
clutches
same
we've
level,
seen
right?
in a long, long time.
That is something special.
My HOTV. Furia.
This bomb down is scary. Flames is taking real estate, but ends up getting
Maybe
punished.
Furia. I'd put
Win
a
these fights.
above.
Just Dexter left to get past, but he's an iron wall at the back of the site. Moving around. Kill number 3. Oh! Dexter!
Make a case for Furia over Spirit, I think.
Make some noise for him. That is incredible.
Nitro slots into the corner on Arch. Simple catches OC immediately. And Electronic also
More
shines.
across the
Nitro,
board
it's a
on
good
Furia.
chance. Oh, and he gets
Molodoi,
three
Case Rider,
others.
Yuri, and
Oh,
Yukimda.
he gets them all.
But then
But what about
you'd
that
put
flash from
Shearer and
SDY?
Donk above.
How about this hold from Perfecto? Incendiary
You made
to the
case
right.
either way, I think.
Sundai Young turns his attention. Oh! All 3! Sundai Young and Sundai again and again and again.
Lamef, gotta be careful. Walks into the shot.
It's just Brokey tucked into the vent behind the smoke.
Yeah, Brokey. He's wondering what's going on inside of the smoke. He's going to find one, finds a second. Absolutely not. He's already done this so many times, and now he's looking for an ace clutch instead. It should be impossible, but we've said that many, many times already. Goes straight for the bomb plant. They open the door in front. Oh, gotta be careful. He gets one more. Surely not. On the other side, Clave is ready and waiting. Brokey, oh, he's toying with it. Oh my God, Brokey! You must be kidding me!
And JKS goes down for essentially free. 3 CTs meant to work this forward. Utilities off of the mark. Can Hunter sell this? Can Nico clutch it? Will he be needed? Because that Tech-9 drops, and here comes Nico's rifle. It's headshots galore. All 3 dead, and Nico's gonna keep it back and forth.
Tuck him in, son.
Relatively straightforward. Electronic with the opening kill over the top of the smoke. OG falling back. That's precise, and he gets another over the top.
God damn.
Filthy. Absolutely filthy.
clean clip.
Polymarket are the prediction partner of Blast Bounty. I'm sure Mongolz could not have predicted the comeback that Faze mounted in that first game. Things look good again for Mongolz as we switch sides.
All right, it's a big pistol.
Lead. Surely they don't lose it this time.
They're going for the BXX as well.
Activated on
It's like a nuke. Mongols copied the T side of Faze, and Faze are now copying the T side of the Mongols.
But we'll see what Faze can offer up in
Got a smoke and dualies here though, so this B hit's not going to be as free as the one Mongols had.
Pretty ready for this. You got a
And a
flashbang
flash,
set
they're
up
fully
there
ready for
for
this.
the peak to hold off the push here, but Faze.
Twist puts enough pressure though, it's going to pull that flash away, which it has done right now. He's not holding the flash out.
From the Mongols for this rotation.
But this reminds me of a...
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, there comes the flash. It reminds me of a Taric era Cloud9 pistol setup from many moons ago, but this one not so successful so far. Blitz needs to try and find a headshot. These numbers have to be thinned out, but he doesn't know where to go. Teammate stuck in the choke point now. 910 trying to find something. Natu just waiting around the corner.
Yeah, having to move forward quickly here, the Mongols. Nice defense from Natu. With that Glock, very hard to push away from this position. You got that longer range covered as well here, so every advantage for Faze on these pistol battles.
Good from Faze, they smoked top con there. And Mongols had a 3A2B setup, and because Faze smoked top con, it meant that they had no one watching mid, which meant that that market player who's holding the flash out for B apps had to start to worry about mid, which is why he moved away and the flash wasn't there for Techno. Obviously Techno got dinked, which made his smoke bad, which also didn't help. But just a little detail there with the top con smoke just worked perfectly against the setup that the Mongols are running.
I think it's Cloud9 on the CT side had a very similar setup to that, and they could not have been more blind in the apartments. That one was very successful. This one, not so much. 910 with the scout. It is a full force buy from Mongols. No money left in the hole for an AWP. They expect to win this one right now, right here. Ooh, I spot a gap.
Gap's kind of annoying blocking that.
In that smoke.
Graphic that last occasion.
He hears the
I'm going
footsteps.
down the elevator.
When will he announce his presence? Oh no, Blitz has gone down very quickly, but still timing. Takua coming into the back. No one spotted him.
Ooh.
A quick 2K. And an AK down on the ground is so close, but can't quite get to it. A little bit too risky to turn the corner. Waits for his teammates. Takuak is playing this well right
down
now.
that low.
Yeah, good discipline.
We're going to cover
despite
the
his young age,
traffic.
not overextending to try and pick up that rifle. Twist trying to hold the distance. Things quiet now. When does the internal clock go off on Mongolz where they wonder about a flank? Because it doesn't look like anyone's expecting this from Frozen, who make it both, but 9-10, my God, from coast to coast onto Twist and Frozen with the scout. Has
The
made
Mongols
this a
group up here.
2-on-1.
They don't group up. They're going to take
utility
good.
to delay Natu.
Good group up from the Mongols here.
Trying to find a solution.
Although
to
Dark
this.
Meister looks
Where
like he
is that
doesn't
second
want to
play?
play
Where
with the
are any
group
of
up.
them?
He's just going
They're
for
all rotating
timing.
Mongolz.
And he's hit it.
Yeah, huge reposition. No idea here for Natu. It can be anything at this point. The timing onto the back of the site.
No.
Darkmeister somehow. Natu is going to just turn so many degrees there and find that headshot quickly. And now another reposition, 9-10. The scout has done so much damage in this round. One shot anywhere on Natu's body will likely take him down with 55 health, but it's the
That's
headshot.
bad, that
Natu looking
Interesting there, right? So 2v1, if you play by the book,
round had
you should
way
wait,
too
group
much
up and
drama, I think,
trade.
as far as Faze were concerned.
But
They
then
managed to get out
obviously,
of that situation by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, that was
Faze player
really,
knows that's the
really,
textbook way to play,
really
right? So he
tense,
walks
and,
out, mark
9-10
it.
is just overperforming with the scouts in that scenario.
Try and
Shots on the
catch
bomb
that
site,
timing.
Shots around the back as
And
the
he
flank
does.
is
He
coming
just-
through.
I
Really good
presume
angle
it was
for
a
Natu
terrible
towards the end.
whiff.
Kind of an off angle
Be
on
good to
the-
see
on
the
players
point of
coming in
view.
from short there. Really strong.
But
good
yeah,
timing
played
for
him.
him to save the day.
I think it's a prime
on that
example of
round,
where the
which was
textbook
very,
way to
very
play
tense. And again, you could just see
isn't
from the
always the
investment there from Mongolz. They
best
came
way
in
to
with the
play, if
intention
that
to
makes
buy, and they
sense.
were
And
close,
it's hard
but
as a
very close,
coach to
but not
know
close enough.
when to
Faze
let players play.
to get closer.
Let's see this one.
Really strong
And
stuff.
when
for
to
this
tell them to play
9-10.
by the book.
With a scout.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Really, really nice.
Oh man, show us the
Darkmeister
point of view.
Oh dear.
No.
He just couldn't catch up with the deagle. I wondered, he fired so many shots. I was thinking, how is he still standing?
Yeah, I didn't realize it's quite that bad, but you can see it's
He's still
it's a rough
clicking.
one.
He's still clicking, but he's dead that.
I think Darkmeister probably called that timeout.
Okay, well, it's going to
I
be
don't
Faze
blame
looking
him.
to do what Mongolz did to them, actually, just going for a pop here. What is there on the other end? There are going to be 4 players that could quickly respond here. The Mongols are going to want to collapse onto this push. They're going to see the nades coming on over. They are a little bit far away from that T-ramp position.
It's a good anti-eco. You just don't have the utility, right, to deal with this if you're
Not going to be doing
the
too much
Mongols.
work here. Dodging, trying to distract the crosshairs, the bullets.
Nah, yeah,
but
exactly. It's
you can
just
see it's an
very
explosion
simple, clean
in this round.
anti-eco.
Faze
The other team
gonna
doesn't
pick it
have
up very easily indeed.
utility.
That's a 6-9 scoreline. Said the gap would close quickly, James. We're definitely seeing the gap start to get very, very, very closed.
Yeah, the game will begin now. Tikuak's able to drop an AWP for 9-10. Got some extra money with those frags in earlier rounds, which will certainly help. So now Mirage begins as far as Mongols are concerned. They've got their full buy on the CT side. They've got a 3-round lead. They're very confident. They believe in themselves. Now it's time to deliver. Got a lot of players towards ramp early. Twist? What from there?
They're
My
running its
word.
way, James.
Top mid with the Mac-10. Twist trying to run distraction, putting Tikuak out of position now. While there is a charge onto the A-bomb site, Faze have swarmed all over it. And this should have
How
really
did
been
Blitz
done.
get caught
Tikuak
there? What was
and
Blitz
Techno, the
up
only
to?
2 that remain. I can't believe that charge from Twist. I'm still kind of reeling from that one. Running out of bullets now in mid, and Tikuak collects 2.
Crazy timing. I mean, Faze just storming an empty bomb
That
site.
was a
Mongols
replay. I'm interested to
so
see what the
preoccupied
Mongols would-
with that mid aggression. And now a 2 versus 3
The
for them.
Mongols were
They
up
don't
to
have
in middle there, 'cause it looked like
position.
Blitz
This
was
is
kind of
gonna
on
be
an
very
island.
difficult. Tikuak has
The middle
5
of mid.
HP as well. And I don't think they want any of this noise right now onto the A-bomb site. They're going to try to save these weapons. Techno might find it kind of difficult to do so, though. He could get hunted down from this position. You can see he's very, very unsure as to what's even safe. Opting to stay in this position. Here's the clearance of mid. He feels like, okay, they're going into mid right now. Maybe I have some space
Missed a
to
short
work
jump,
with.
missed and failed the run
Reposition.
to Con. That makes sense.
Stay
So he
alive.
missed his
Stay
jump and
WP.
got punished.
Surprise.
And Twist just running out top mid like he's on bath salts. A Mac-10, he absolutely does not have the right tool for the
Stuff
club in terms
Bardoff
of range.
says. I don't know how he
This guy
comes
go.
up with it.
Yeah. And it's just so insane as well how at this very moment the Mongols have every single crosshair and every body pointing towards mid as 3 Faze players walk up T-ramp into an empty bomb site, and it's a full buy round from the Mongols. So it seems like they kind of read the positions there in such a way that left them exposed. That's exactly what Faze wants to see.
The 2-1-2 set up from Mongolz on this occasion. 9-10 should hear some players in the apps, but we'll see what they choose to do with this heavy presence phase.
Mongols have left B.
Man, what a pain in the butt. Imagine like Twist charges at you with from top mid with a Mac 10 like that, gets the frag, and then just types delete game in chat. Imagine how triggering that would be.
And this round is a completely different pace from Faze. They're expecting something aggressive from the Mongols, but that boost actually might be really nice. They're looking for it.
Good trade. That's good fundamentals from Faze.
That's always going to be favorable in this kind of a spot for the Faze side. On the T side of Mirage, they've got a minute to play this 4v4 with.
Twist is just maybe trying to understand how much map control they still have. He'll be deploying a smoke towards short as well. But again, it's been fought in apps pretty much this entire round for Faze, along with that action in the underpass. 45 seconds. Frozen will be left in situ as the rest perhaps look for a split of the B bomb sides.
Yeah, this kind of works out from the Mongols a little bit because they don't have close positions around A, but they do have two players on the B bomb site. Techno finding one. So one player on the site, 9-10. Very strong flick. Nate comes out, back into cover. Another shot here, has to land, it will. And now you got J Bowen in a very awkward position. Out comes the clock, and the Mongols will save the round.
God, all these rounds are really, really tense. But my word, is it hard to bait a shot from 9-10. We saw it on Nuke with one player swinging past to make space for the AWP, but he's just sitting there ready. He knows when to fire every single time. That looks so rough for Mongolz with the developing situation on that B bomb site. But 9-10 is chilling, throwing Molly's just enough space to avoid the fire at the same time. Narrow victory. It's got to feel like.
All right, so this is a big round.
Faze POV or some of those engagements.
Low on money for Faze. If they lose this one, it's going to be really hard. If they win it though, they have a chance to push more.
They're looking for anything in mid to kind of give them that moment that they can burst off of. But the Mongols actually voiding the mid position pretty much entirely. They're playing a more passive
No one
setup.
in B apps from Faze, just a straight A split.
Yeah, relatively traditional. 9-10 with the AWP and CT. Look at these numbers, these marauders.
They got new util coming over from A. So if 9-10 contacts con here.
How much is his back covered though from that connector position? You see Blitz and 9-10 popping out to answer that question immediately and dismantle Faze like pieces of Lego. Bomb spotted, 9-10 with angles. Frozen on the rotation. Jaboen's got a lot to do here. Showing what presence he can. Oh, going for the full spray there, almost dropping 9-10, but he is still standing. Frozen just waiting for his time to strike. Still a smoke up on the Palace, and there's Jaboen. Frozen is unable to get anything done before all his teammates are not responding.
The problem Faze had there is they had no one outside A main, so they had no util.
Standing at the end of the round.
And they just contacted the whole way, and there was no distraction, right? Like you needed some distraction potentially coming out main to keep 9-10 looking at ramp, because there's no, they've got so many players in mid, and your A players in Palace. You've got kind of nowhere to distract, right? Like it's hard to throw any distracting utility over out of Palace, and you don't just contact out Palace. So 9-10 was just given way too much time to check all these angles.
That puts Faze on the pistols. This should be a nothing
And
round
as I said, that round was huge because
nothing with what I've seen so far.
The economy is cooked.
9-10, 16 frags with AWP. Blitz one ahead though. 10 for Jaboen thus far. Natu's been busy with 15. So you see that big spread up top mid, but it will be handily dealt with by Mongolz. And this is a really good round for them, again, to just build money for the remainder, what remains here of Mirage. They move to game point then, 12 to the 7 of Faze.
Yeah, the comfort here is so obvious compared to Nuke, where they would look a little bit lost on both sides in moments. You've got the Mongols looking extremely comfortable. Again, just great setups, great reads. I think the calling looks like way more on point, and just the individual play is also being reflected in that as well.
What do you mean?
It's a hard thing.
Always
for
take a
FaZe to solve
snooze when I watch your
whatever
videos.
conditioning they've been trying to apply, the Mongols has never
Saying
really
the
been
snooze-
put into a
snooze
spot
is good?
on their CT side where they're
Must be
in a bad
from a
spot
Nordic
to
country,
have
I'm
a
guessing.
defense, to have a rounds where there's a timings going or rotations going against them.
Yeah, I know what a snooze is. I've worked with enough people from Norway and
A lot of Molotovs for FaZe. They don't have all
Sweden.
the util they might have liked. But
Is
they've
that
got
where
the
you're from?
AKs. They've got the talent as well to force the action. Tikuak and Darkmeister, though, also have AKs, which maybe equalizes some duels. They've both proven very dangerous on the Mongol side. Different approach now from Mongolz. Not a traditional setup on this occasion.
Yeah, 19 is
Thanks,
actually
dog.
peeking into Palace
Doglog.
by himself with the orb, and it's a 3-man B setup early on here from the Mongols. So they're really trying to catch FaZe off guard.
they found the opening.
Tikuak still wondering what might be happening.
No, I can't
in that
take a
mid
snooze
position.
mid match.
So they've posted up in their
You
spots.
mean can the players? I think
A
they
lot of early info should it
Might be able
provide
to sneak
itself,
one in.
but FaZe are in a holding pattern around that mid position for the most part. Frozen lurking somewhat. So what's the next step for FaZe? Not engaged by the CTs in mid.
Yeah.
A lot of them looking towards the apartments, trying to understand what the setup is for Mongolz, but off angles are being held.
So the opening I think Mongols are playing against is that they're playing against the B, like, or A pops, is kind of how they could punish that. But FaZe maybe we're expecting more action in mid. So FaZe are like, okay, well, we have to now develop the round. There's nothing here. And now Mongols resetting into better positions to defend each site.
Great combo with the flash and the HE to have
It was a
look,
good
but
combo,
there will be a
but
trade. But the
I
information
don't know how Jabon was able to
for
trade them.
Mongols, how do they respond to that again? I think that
Good
player
made
in
usage
might
from-
be quite important for them should FaZe go to B, but they still have a lurker towards that A bomb site, still being really patient. There's only 25 seconds left though, so they're going to have just a rush into this A bomb
9-10's
site.
in
it
such
looks
a
like.
good spot. No
Not
one
just into
powerless
the
either.
A bomb site into 9-10's scoped AWP. How much util is there to deal with him? But they've got to worry about Tikuak on the back doing damage. 9-10 connects the shot. 1v1 is frozen.
9-10 is. He's shooting. He's playing well.
Answering
Patient to
that
his shots when he
game.
needs to
It
be.
was
He's not
a
rushing
good
shots.
Look, but this Mirage, I think it's fair to say,
Mongols are really good. Like that round, we saw good
Great
combo,
adaptation
like
on that
Molly
CT
flash
side of shooting
combo.
gallery towards
It's
the
just
end.
simple, and they're
Aggressive
good at
angles in
that.
B
They were
and
good at
A.
it on
Mongols
Dust
leading
2 when we
FaZe
watched
in
them the other
mid
day
and
too.
deciding where the fights take place, and with that, they'll have a very solid showing on Mirage indeed.
Yeah, they're just good at it in
Nice work from
this
them.
Yeah, going into
this
Ancient, it's going
simple
to be a very
situation. I feel like
interesting
I've said that about the
attack
Mongols a
between
few
both of
times
these
today.
teams.
Just
Both teams
they're
have, I
good
think,
in
found their
simple
respective ceilings
Counter-Strike.
in various
Again,
scenarios
it's not
on
an
their
insult.
respective map picks, but going into Ancient, you know, what
They
can
do a
we
good
even
job of
say
it.
about the Mongols' form on Ancient? I guess we're going to have to find out.
Ancient.
With how they looked in Mirage here, the fact that it didn't feel like they were weighed down too heavily by the loss on Nuke, it does give a lot of promise towards Mongols. I mean, they closed it out. That's what's really important here. Of course,
What went
not
wrong on
only the
Nuke?
fact that they were
I mean,
one
their
map
T
down
side
already,
was
but the fact that they were able to do it, right? That instills a little bit more confidence.
uninspired.
Especially
I mean,
in
both
the
teams'
guys
T
with
side
Direct
wasn't
Dark
good. Like it was
Master
very
showing up,
just
having
try and take
good
aim
displays
battles
for
and
themselves and closing out a map.
they weren't really
Those
doing a good
helps
job
if
of
you
working the
start
map,
out
either
6-0
team
up.
on
I mean,
Nuke.
their T side was dominant to begin with. I think they had a really good idea of the way that FaZe play this map. Since FaZe do have film, they have tape on this map. They started with the A hits, they go into some mid aggression. They've got the kind of the playbook was actually very deep for Mongols on the T side.
How long we got for the
Despite
next
some,
map?
some hiccups in the mid round, some slow
14
reactions.
minutes.
They still had a very strong T side, which led them into a CT side where they have made some changes in the positions players are playing, but they could still.
Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this Ancient matchup. Well, who's playing well so far? I mean, Jacobs. 9-10, Tikuak. Techno, actually, I thought Techno was doing better than that. Anyway, Ancient, 20% win rate. It's a 50% win rate. These are all close though, right? These are close. First, these like good teams, right? Close versus Spirit, close versus Na'Vi. Bet Boom are playing well at the major. Close versus Bet Boom and Bait. I know All right, so the 20% win rate looks bad, but they can clearly play the map. Okay, what's their pistol win rate? 6 out of 10 though, so they were right on the pistols. Faze, close, beat Bet Boom, close versus Eyeballers. They're looking should be good actually. I think it looks like both teams can play Ancient pretty well. Faze played this so many times in the Chinese tournament. Crikey. What happened? Was this the third map? How did it pop up? Na'Vi picked it, I'm guessing. Yeah. Na'Vi picked it. And then bet last map. Mongolz ban nuke over Ancient. Makes sense based on the nuke we just saw. And then what's been happening here? Faze removed Mirage and Ancient was left. That's Paravision, but that makes sense. Versus Paravision. And BitBoom. That was BitBoom's pick. Should be a good map, I think. I think both teams can play it. Should be interesting. Pain versus Strauss. Did Liquid make it to the next tournament? When's their next tournament? They're playing. Is that tomorrow? Ah, they're chilling. All worked out in the end for Liquid. Everyone was so stressed. It all worked out. Fnatic are playing here. They got a new version of Khan. Khan 2.0 for Fnatic. When is Liquid's game last year? They gave them. I wonder if this tournament organizer would have flipped this if. Because this is online. No, it's a LAN. They couldn't have flipped it. I was going to say they could have flipped like Group D and B to accommodate Liquid, but they wouldn't have been able to with it being a LAN. Oh well. All right, next map is in 10 minutes. So I will be back in 8 minutes.
Cobra and Mazinho. It wasn't as much of that sort of push and pull nature. It was a little bit more focused, I think, in most of the, whether it's map control or for those early. On the bomb site hits in general, he was a nice extra piece in those. So when he's able to actually shoot as hard as he does in this kind of game, along with calls that clearly had Faze off kilter, I think that this is a very different Mongolz than we saw on Nuke that were really, they were just a non-starter on their T side. The Mirage that they went into here had a much clearer vision of how they wanted to push and pull Faze around.
Yeah, and I mean, that ace we saw from Blitz was an A hit from his team, and he's just lurking out in mid. He just has to focus on his crosshair. I think that's when Blitz is at his strongest, when he's not trying to micro players around the map, worry about where they are. I think that's why he's struggled when he's had these roster changes. He has to worry too much about teammates. He calls an A hit, I go out mid, I've got 5 kills, no problem.
It's great to see that, and when we hadn't seen Mirage coming out of this 5-stack yet, that's where the questions are, is Blitz going to be enabling himself in a way, right, as IGL, but is there going to be that element for everyone else in the team to just feel comfortable in what they're executing? It does, it looks great for them, and we are going to be seeing a map number 3, but a bigger question is posed. Will Faze continue on here? Will Faze win a Tier 1 event in 2026? That's one of the prompts that's over at Polymarket if you want to check out all of the prompts that are up there. But the big one right now, because it could be this event.
I think this almost feels like, will they win this event? Is there another event they're going to have a great opportunity where there's only one true top team at that event?
Come on,
I
Maui.
think that they're going to get some invites. I think they're right above the VRS cutoff as it stands. I think the August 3rd invites are coming out soon. They're barely going to make it to a few of those. I think the weakest one off the top of my head would probably be like a Fisher event or something. Like that's kind of where you're placing your faith in FaZe to win a Fisher. I'd have to see the other teams that are there, but that's probably why the chance is so low.
I was gonna say, well, then would you put it higher or lower than 20%?
Yeah, no, even for that one, the chance they win that is probably 1 in 5. Like they're maybe the 4th or 5th best team that's gonna go to that if they get the invite.
I'm going lower than 20%.
Yeah.
I'm going lower. I'm going lower. I see it wiggling around here as faith wanes in FaZe. I could see it more like 10 to 15% chance to
That
take
feels
that.
fairer. Yeah.
It's because it's, they have that big comeback against Mouse. People are like, oh, maybe actually they have it in them, and then you see them lose Mirage. You're like, you're not so sure, but maybe there's going to be some more fluctuation there on people's predictions as we do look towards a map number 3. After this break, it is going to be Ancient. Faze and Mongolz going to a map number 3, and it will be Ancient that we're going to see them figure out who is going to be the winner of this best of 3. And Ancient was decided, Mal, because Blitz did say in the pre-series interview that they had seen the demos of Faze on Cash and were not comfortable going up against how strong that they looked. And so it feels like you should have significantly better answers than on Ancient. You should feel more confident if that is the one that you didn't want to go up against them.
Any YouTuber worth their salt, has already made a video about how good Faze is on cash. Okay? I personally haven't, but many
So you're
have.
not a good YouTuber, is what we're hearing.
Neither have I. So,
Guys, anyway, if you want to send in your resumes over at Blast.tv.
So yeah, obviously, I think Blitz, that is. I think he saw all of those. He saw all the YouTubes. He saw that it wasn't worth it to try to challenge them on it because they just had so many nades. They had so many different strategies. And even though they played it earlier at this tournament, it was just too tall of an order. But now they're flying into the unknown, where they're playing an Ancient that they haven't played since the Cologne Major, let alone with these 2 new rookies on the team.
Well, if he's saying he's seen their cash and he was worried about it, he thought they played really well on cash, he surely has seen their Ancient since they played this like 7 times at the XSC event.
Yeah,
like
so many times.
They played this a ridiculous amount of times. The unspoken thing there is we've seen their Ancient and we think it's vulnerable. We think there's openings, there's struggles for Faze on this map, and they've had some pretty good results on Ancient, but it's not been perfectly consistent. I have to imagine Mongolz have seen something they want to try to attack.
Is that a sentiment that you agree with Mongolz then? Like you yourself, when you've seen it played out 7 times, that there are some weaknesses that you could take advantage of?
Unfortunately, I think their Ancient is actually pretty solid. It's just that their cash is so much better.
Okay, it's like S tier compared to A tier.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's actually a lot of strengths for Phase 2 when you get into Ancient. Weirdly, J-Bone, since he's joined the team, has been their best T-side player, which you don't usually get from an Opper. But it again kind of goes back to the ability he has to, in hectic situations, find really clean trade frags. And whereas before I was saying sometimes it's a weakness that he whips between angles too frequently, on Ancient, there's actually a lot of nice mid-range fights for him that he can actually capitalize when Mongolz players eventually swing into his angles.
Well, our Faze players, getting all my words mixed up, they're getting themselves in their seats, getting ready here. And we've gotten the pleasure of being able to see a Faze comeback in map 1, a Mongolz domination in map number 2. And so it does beg the question, what exactly are we getting as we head into Ancient?
That is a great question. What are we going to get? I think we're going to get a great game, and it looks like that is what the predictors also think here, James, because that's pretty even. And I think it's going to be... I'm leaning Faze, but I do think this has the potential to surprise us.
I like these numbers that we are being provided. It's going to be a very tight game. You look at the results on paper for Mongolz recently. There, it says 20% in recent matches on Ancient, but in all of those matches, I think they've got at least 11 rounds. So pinch of salt with those results. A little thing here, a little thing there, and they could be very different numbers indeed. So they came with a plan of avoidance of cash, a plan to be happy to take things over towards Ancients, or Dust 2, of course, if that wasn't vetoed, but Ancients it will be. I think from the beginning, the guys and girls on the desk said 3 maps. They were absolutely correct. I think that we are in for a great crescendo for Faze and Mongolz to see who makes it to the semi-finals. It is time to decide, time to spin the block for one of these squads. It is Faze who will be starting on the T side of Ancients. I couldn't pick between these 2 squads at this point. They're both able to take a victory here, but we'll see who's got the guts. 9-10 going fishing through the smoke. Not a bad way to start.
And he's off, he's run away. They're trying to find him, but into CT spawns, he goes into the temple, into Blitz. Oh, it's just too easy here for the Mongolz. Frozen, last player standing. Has a lot of work to do with the Glock. Now the smoke goes away, he's fully exposed.
Yeah, this range is crappy for the Glock. 9-10 falling back on a great support system. Good to have your friends around you. Frozen does not have such. He does have the bomb, and he's heading in the right direction for a 1 versus 1, which could provide opportunity. And he's got time to fish as well. As he shows to one player, the net might close elsewhere. He's looking for opportunity to be provided. And in that respect, Mongolz are being patient. Look at the range being held there by Tikuak. Frozen down to 15, put out of his misery by Darkmeister. Mongolz strike first.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you were saying, the fishing, it did really look like if he somehow manages to connect those long-range headshots against Tikuak, that actually, maybe there's a world where he can actually make something happen there. At least a bomb plant.
What did I miss?
This would obviously be very important.
Oh, just the pistol.
I mean, this is the kind of stuff that really starts to sap the energy. And then just great fallback there from 9-10. Enabling him to play the base setup with his teammate Blitz. Very nice indeed. So the 1-0 Mongolz start here on the CT side. A full save from Faze. They have purchased only 2 flashbangs.
Maybe a P250 for Frozen.
We're going to see a good map from Mongolz.
there's not much that they can.
Looks like they played
afford.
people that like Spirit are good at this map, and they played them
Meister's
toe to
looking for
toe.
his first LAN series win in his career, in his entire career. Yeah, Darkmeister and Tikuak, the ones to focus on. The new mans here on the Mongolz.
All right, my bad.
Problems.
We cursed
There's
it.
problems all over the place, James. Not only is the bomb being planted, they're going to pick up some guns. They got donut control. They're looking to shut down CT. Nice dink there onto Darkmeister as well. And that land win, I mean,
oh dear,
might be in trouble right now because Blitz is about to
my
be
bad.
in a lot of problems here too. Stuck in Temple. They know where he is. He has 13 health. He's holding an M4. That's another upgrade. Ready and waiting for Faze to be collected. He's got to deploy the utility just to try to stay alive.
They've got to smell. They do smell blood immediately, putting that util down, desperately trying to save the M4. Faze not giving us time to even read the overlays with that charge.
It's good
Great
from
way to turn
Jacob,
things
maybe,
around.
if he wants to take this away.
Again, the first two maps, regardless of what side they were on, there was a struggle at the beginning of each map. But that's a great response. I think winning that second round, if you can put that CT economy in the bin and leave them carrying not much, can be a really good way to start a deciding map of the series. There's one more match to come after this one. Don't forget, as much as we've seen so much action already.
Faze had literally nothing. They had one P250, right?
Up, but this really was Mongolz getting destroyed uber quick.
You don't often see near full Glock eco do anything. So yeah,
so
not
fast.
Not the time for it to happen. Finding the one hole in the defense. Certainly some cave control being worked on here by the Mongolz. Going to try to make sure they can control outside of B and then have quick reaction into mid.
Very
So
thorough.
plan there, but Faze moving up mid might be able to defend against it.
Walking into 5-7 territory. Molotov still gives Tikuak a chance, but there's not too many places for Faze to look. Jacob willing to take a risk and have a little look, a little ask through that smoke. But Faze are going to limit their variance. Good comms, as you can see there, just pulling the plug on that one, especially in the speed that was required for that with their new squad mates. I think, you know, win or lose, both teams will surely be more solidified after this series. A trade, 9-10 dropped. Darkmeister trying to do what he can, but he's being held by Frozen. Good map control by Faze.
Yeah, aware of all of the potential gaps that can be exploited and just covering them. No opportunity here for the Mongolz. Just having to take the fights that
Good from Faze,
wants
thorough.
to take.
Took their time, used the util where they need to use the util.
For the
Nothing up to chance.
As Darkmeister's not in a position to do anything here. He's hunted down, and it's an easy conversion from Faze. Just like you say, you know, they get control of some position, they understand how they need to deal with the potential problems, and just close the round out. So looking smooth here for Faze.
As the desk alluded to, it was 6 games of Ancient played at XSE for Faze, so there was a lot of data for Mongolz to work with. So we'll see if it continues to be smooth once the buys come through once again. Maybe there are more surprises in store on the T side for Mongolz. We shall see. For now, though, it is the
It's in this double
Pistols
nade,
broken
both
early.
rounds from
Finally,
Faze.
chance for Faze to have an early lead in this series.
Trying to discourage the early
Very
aggressive
trying time
fight
previous
from
two maps, but it's
Mongolz.
a brand new day as far as they're concerned.
Full eco. But
Yeah, they're already out looking for the donut control. Really well planned anti-eco here from them. Have that donut control, you know, leaving a lot of positions open, and the way that allows.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from
clean
Faze,
fights.
actually.
Good reaction there. From that case
thorough.
set up, and that's going to be an AK stolen away. I feel like that's it now. You know, that's the value you were looking for, and
Enough
9-10 can hold on
chance.
to that.
$7,000 in the bank for Jaboin. Little bonus for planting the bomb. But yeah, that's a lot of money coming the way of Mongolz. Again, had good starts. Not always a good finish in this series. That baton, though, is with Faze for the time being. A third round versus Mongolz. Be nice for 9-10 if he can hold on to this AK or one of his teammates. But many questions in terms of what is to come
Yeah,
in this game of Ancient. I mean, we might see some hard counters from Mongolz as well if there's something habitual that Faze will do. And surely there is after playing so much Ancient in one tournament. There's got to be habits.
Yeah, you know, Faze are a team that are not shy to take fights, and in a mid control is always one of the central points that we look at in terms of, you know, like which team is going to be more favored in how they're able to perform in terms of that mid control. Other T side looking to take other areas, and then they do a delayed mid take. They like to challenge
First gun round.
immediately. There's a lot of back and forth there. We're about to discover now that we get into this first buy round. Proper buy round for the Mongolz against Faze, and Faze, they might just, are they going to pop B here?
Well,
there are big utility advantage.
0-2-3 set up for the Mongols, so they'll definitely have some firepower to try and deal with this. 9-10
missed the
collects
flash.
The second one, and the rotation is on the
He
way.
hit this flash here, right
smoke,
there.
finds his first
Missed the
kill of
flash.
this
See,
game.
this smoke was by them.
And
They
that
try
is
and pop
Natu
through
into
this
Bowen
smoke, but he missed his flash.
To do what they
Whoever
can.
was the flash
and
thrower.
maybe they can do something. Jabone makes it a 2-on-2 at the very least, and Natu catches the fall off. 9-10 trying to punish, turning things around once more, our Faze.
Yeah, Faze in a really good position here. They can just either cut noise, re-hit B, or full rotate. That means Blitz has to move. Blitz has to try to figure out what's going on. And going around cave, Blitz with the right read might secure the 1v1s here. Blitz in a good spot, but the crosshair placement.
Good recovery from Faze.
No.
Curious to see how the
There was a
Mongols
chance there,
manage
but
their mental.
Faze
Yeah, I
control
mean,
the chaos and bring in the
not
win.
looking
4-1
good so
now for
far.
them.
See if they call one of
Great
their
turnaround
timeouts or
from
not.
Faze. Good retraction after the initial engagements. Great hold there from Jabone. You can see that last man just looking towards the
Hear that
ramp for a
flash?
strafe.
Meant to be a flash
Never given
there,
the
but it wasn't.
opportunity. Looking solid for Mongols with that 2K from 9-10. Again, they started
And
with
good
3
from
players on
Jabone.
that bomb site. 2 in mid, able to rotate
Really good
quickly.
to recover that for them.
But the clutch is there for Faze. You can see the endorphins for days for Faze. Again, maybe the hardest of the hard work is done for them in this series.
Yeah, 9-10 has the AWP out now, so you
Look at
know,
this rotation.
This round's not straightforward, but
Straight
it's
off
a
B.
little bit awkward. You've got a couple MP9s here.
Right, they're going
the
back
util
now.
maybe sparse in some places.
These two smokes
but
phase through.
if they can find good contact with 9-10, that would make all the difference. You know, poised for any play towards the A-long position. We'll see if he can find something here. Got to be very, very careful. Is this even an expected weapon from Faze?
There were 4 smokes, now 3 for Mongols to try and delay and give 9-10 the space to find something. No one
The
peeking
spot
on
here.
A, moves over towards Donuts.
Another bad flash.
And there is the surprise that Faze were perhaps not expecting. And you can see the response with utility elsewhere as well. They're trying to limit Faze responding to that position of that AWP.
And it does give 9-10 time to go back to Red Room to position
Goodbye,
there.
Mongols.
Faze, they're going to have high urgency.
Showed
to
the
get into
AWP,
B, but
smoked
with
off
3
the
and
reactions.
soon 4
See,
players
2
left
smokes
and a
used here
lurker,
at this exact same
Mongols have
time.
advantage in this round
Make
now.
it so
Dynamite
Faze
is
couldn't
on the shots
react
already. He has
to
an
finding
incendiary
that big
and a
weapon.
smoke grenade as well. So indeed, Faze will be delayed yet further. 9-10's made his way over to B. And look how the net has closed. Mongols are the side with the weaknesses here, but they have surrounded Faze more or less. We've got 25 seconds to push into more utility.
See, and they got the timing for that molly, for that AWP to come over.
Also, 18 seconds now, and they haven't even made terra firma. They're not on the bomb site just yet. 14 seconds, and they're still trying to charge. It's to Bowen, who may risk losing an AWP here, survives for the time being.
Good by Mongols, right? They saved that utility until 9-10 showed himself.
Yeah,
Faze
really
didn't
punishing.
find
You
an
know, Faze
opening.
playing the round slowly. When that kill came in for
Yeah, they
9-10,
let him
there
rotate back
wasn't very
over, and you
much
see
time
9-10 was
left.
able to
There was
get
a moment
impact
when
in different
Faze were
areas
all
of the map
outside B
throughout
that
that
they
round.
booked
A
in
good flank as well,
through
obviously, to
mid
really
into
lock
A,
them in.
gambling on
And
the
it started with a
Mongols
bad flash,
rotation,
right?
but it's so hard
Missed
to make
flash
that
off the
call
rip.
in time, and that was the only punish available.
The 9-10 again, he's so patient, like what Bardov was saying before with those shots there. Like he waits
Prepared for the long game.
to make
It
sure
wasn't
his
just
shot
about the
connects, if
hero
that makes
AWP,
sense.
but the utility around it to create space for that ult to get working. That's Mongols showing their power in a round such as that. Very well created. Aggression now through B. As we may see a big flashpoint here, the smoke may separate the sides for the time being. Heading towards
Crikey,
mid
the
now.
Mongols are just
And Faze will
sending
have to try
this.
and hold his ground here. But look how many CTs are coming his way. How do Faze respond to this?
And Jabone now in a very awkward position. Kuak able to take down Jacob, removing some space in mid from Faze. Absolute chaos here as the fights are being taken. 2 versus 4 now from Faze. Over a minute to play with, but very, very difficult to stabilize from this position. The Mongols now actually getting active. 9-10 on the big wrap from A-Long. even though Jay Bowen gets that kill, 9-10 now becomes a ticking time bomb.
Active again here.
Encroaches upon the
It's
flank.
happened twice now, this A
USP,
flank.
but if he sees the player outside B, bomb site, that's going to be so awkward. AWP quickscope may be favorable, but how could he know? Jay Bowen now, last one standing, 1 versus 2. Time is on his side. I'm not sure if he had sound cues of a rotation towards A there, but he does have opportunity. That element of surprise, if the timing is in his favor, could open up this A bomb sites. So he's got one place to look, and that's right here, and he knows opportunity knocks.
Unreal timing there for Jay Bowen. Offered up a really solid chance here to get to play the post plant, but where is the last player going to be coming from? Another game of timing here for Jay Bowen to have to overcome. Techno, 11 HP, but he's up against an AWP. One missed shot could be the end for Jay Bowen. A missed timing could be the end for Jay Bowen. In comes Techno. It's a whiffed shot, but there is some damage, but still another chance if Techno puts the nade straight on his head, but it's a headshot from Jay Bowen. A 2 versus 1 clutch for Faze.
Big rounds. There's so much happening in these rounds on Ancient. So much development from both sides in that one round, but it goes
Mongolz,
the way of Faze.
yeah, they just sent it. I mean, it got the man advantage. They just couldn't.
Maybe they've got
couldn't
something
convert
else
the
in their bag
2v1.
of tricks, but that's a really big one to secure. Keep that early lead.
Interesting, we see a Faze timeout here, right? This isn't a Mongolz timeout, it's a Faze one.
And understand what the climate might be on the Mongol side, maybe.
Obviously not happy.
I mean, they were talking about the T statistics for Jay Bowen.
with what just happened.
He's 10 for 2.
They said they were in a
So it seems
2v1,
like
right? So
the trend is following
they
in
lost
this
the round
game.
strategically,
He is
but
delivering
Jay Bowen
for
with a
Faze
nice
in
clutch.
this much needed third map.
It was this aggression.
Really big clutch.
I suspect they made a mistake in
well.
their
we could barely talk about the 3 for Mongolz there.
B side of their default there or something.
They had the smoke.
And maybe they want to talk about that actually. They want to talk about that A flank potentially. If they know what happened in the other round too,
they're getting wrecked in the mid position.
They want to make sure they're on top of that.
Able to turn things around. A huge clutch. Jay Bowen got tagged by the AWP through the boxes, ate a grenade, and has still got the temerity to deliver that one fatal shot after all of that as well.
And Mongolz doing again in reverse this time.
No hero AWP this time. Jacob with an early 5-on-4. That's something that Mongolz will be hard pressed to respond to.
Yeah, they're in the B site phase. They have a completely free B bomb site. It's not going to take them too much time to clear this one. And what do Mongolz do in this position? They are going to be so out of position and with so much post-plant utility this early in the round available for Faze. I don't think Mongolz can do anything reasonable except to save their weapons at this point.
Yeah, nothing else makes sense. No kits. May post up for some map control in terms of holding onto their rifles. No, they're going to think better of it and move away. So outmaneuvered on this occasion by Faze, who continue to build a solid lead on their T side. So far, so good as far as Faze are concerned.
No loss.
How big's the crowd at this event? Are they moving to a crowd for the?
Just a couple rounds of that now.
Moving to an arena for the semis or anything, or is it just?
Weapons saved.
I can hear a crowd, but I haven't seen them all stream.
You know, sometimes you need to
Oh,
throw
there we go.
those in.
I've seen
and
them
you
all
just
stream.
result in this particular scenario. So the
Just a
very
really
fact that they're able
small
to at least keep the weapons is
intimate
okay.
crowd.
But 6-2, Faze, they are looking very good right now on this T side, and it's hard to see when it's going to stop with how they're playing.
Yeah, now we start to ask how many rounds is the minimum that Mongolz need for a good opportunity in the other half. They'll be able to buy
Maybe 9 on Techno. No AWP.
So again, we've got a 0-2-3 setup for Mongolz. Just trying to stave off maybe habitual surges into the B bomb sites. But there are 2 players for Faze looking towards mid. Currently smoked for the time being. One will head over to see the climate towards A.
Yeah, so a cooler round start here.
Faze have no map
Is,
control. Very little map control, but look at all the utility they've
Doesn't
got
have the AWP to
compared
be
to
a
the
threat in
utility that
respect to
Mongolz
Faze,
got.
But yeah, Faze clearing out A long, looking for aggression there.
So
right now the Mongolz are just
give up the
passive,
map,
a passive 2-3 setup.
map early, but
and we'll see exactly what.
and the Mongols have nothing to show for this. They got this mid line here, but
to dictate the action.
besides that, they haven't got a lot. They're just going to let Faze slowly retake the map and look for information that
Taking
way.
away the closer positions to the T side at least.
Jay Bowen posted up, holding the bomb.
Now they've lost this mid info
Find
with this
entry
smoke.
towards B.
So I'm going to have to see this player watching this and probably
53
rotate
seconds
over.
as an Eon for Faze as they continue to try and force the Mongols back. Jabone's picked off though. That's the bomb spotted. That's a really big collection by 9-10, and that will have some more CTs getting ready to make a play towards B. Red Room's been abandoned, so they'll have to be careful.
Okay, there is a path to A right now. Natu is over there. He's on A long, so 30 seconds, they could book it. But right now, you know, if that was ever a consideration, too much time has passed. They're going to have to force it into B now.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to run through mid.
But there is no util.
Yeah, but this is giving sound cues for the rotation as well. This is surely heard by Mongolz. They only have 2 players over towards A at present, but more are on the way. That's an important duel one or two, but there's 8 seconds to get this bomb planted. Is there a chance for this to be thwarted? No. That's a great hold by Jacob. Last-ditch effort there from Faze, and it's working for them. 4 on 2. A lot of players heavily tagged. Mongolz decided.
There was a smoke on Donut there, but no one from Mongolz was playing it. When they threw all that pressure towards Cheetah or Cave, the whole Mongolz team rotated over here. They all moved really easily, and they had no info with that smoke off here. They thought it was a B thing. And then even though Mongolz had a smoke on Donut here, no one was actually in position to play. You can see there was a player here, and there was a player here. No one ready to comfortably get and hold that smoke without being exposed to that player coming out A main. So Mongolz caught slightly out of position. I mean, Faze lucky to get away with that one,
I think our clocks were ticking. Like, Faze have got to decide which way they're going.
Exactly.
There's the small window if it's going to be A, and it will have to be through mid, but they're just
wonder if you reckon
they believe in their players,
trying to bait Mongolz into another A push?
5-round lead for Faze.
Maybe, but
what's interesting too is that there was a moment similar to this.
They knew a lot earlier than that, right? Because that A player was up here a lot earlier in the round than that late.
Potential fast mid action here from both sides, looking to fight in this position. Twist.
Mongolz look sloppy on these.
And the round is gone. No one's left here for the Mongols. 9-10 sitting on the B bomb site with the AW.
Faze have been thorough. They've been thorough all the way since round 2 when they won that P250 only round.
Shut it down.
They've been very thorough. I think that last round
see a replay
was a good one to review. Right, good in-game leading, good calling one to review with twists, but they got away with it.
They were prepared for that corner.
So, good learning experience in that round.
But again, this is going so well for Faze now. They
worked
so hard to get here. Let's not forget, like, if you're joining us late,
that's just what they're doing, and the Mongols haven't been thorough.
There was a hell of a comeback.
Like, this isn't thorough, right?
3 players running through
one flash. Like,
you see Blitz facing the smoke, Twist with a.
And the Mongols have done that just charging, right? They did one round where they charged through like, and they went through main, right? They charged through this way and tried to clear mid and ended up in a disadvantage. They had another round where they charged through like this, and they had that one as well, right? This player was charging. It's not working for them. Right, Faze have made sure they're not getting caught off guard by these early plays.
It's a good time to note that.
Come on, Mongols, take a timeout.
One of the 2 rounds.
They haven't used one yet, right?
There's
or
been
is this
a
one
4-round
now?
streak for Faze after every round that Mongols have won. Those maths don't look good for the squad currently on the CT side.
No, it's not one.
With 2 rounds remaining, Faze really enacting revenge for the first half of Nuke.
Mongols back into mid on the open, but look at this. Faze like, hey, if you guys are going to put a bunch of players in mid, well, free A bomb site for us. Straight in there, no contest.
Twist has done a good job calling these rounds, where Mongols have been giving. That one round they walked up B, and this round they walked out A. Twist has been reading them like a book on these rounds when he's sending it out. Just sending it in these mids.
Catching Blitz on the flank makes things even worse. This is a disaster for Mongolz. This entire half is a complete disaster. They're gonna go in. Surely close enough to lose everything. They don't have a kit for a late defuse. They're just being toyed with at the moment. Baby deer in the mouth of a lion has got to be how this feels. As again, it's time to run away once again.
Yeah, really smart choice. We see the Mongols trying to survive, keep these guns into the next round. Another one is gone, but it's a smart choice from Faze because,
like a book.
Yeah, the Mongols, they've gotten aggressive on B. That's been one of the aggressions they've shown to try to take initiative, and they've been aggressive on mid. You know, these are the 2 most common spots. So if you're expecting them to feel like they need to take the action quickly into the round, and you send it A, that's probably the best chance of a free bomb site at the rush timing.
It's important to throw those A rushes in on your T side, right?
round of the
Because
first
teams
half,
often
they
do
will be
leave A
in
main
force
open.
for Mongolz.
Like
There
that's
won't be an
that's not
AWP
just a
after that loss
Mongols.
from
That's a
9-10.
common thing. So you have to keep
There'll
teams
be a
honest.
very early smoke towards B
Paid
from
off
the CT
perfectly.
side, and Faze choose to force through it.
Again, we're going to see one of these slower, more thorough rounds from Faze now, I think. Actually, might just going for a B exec. Twist looks like he wants to go though.
Get that initial play from 9-10 into A long, and they're going to rotate everybody over towards B except 9-10. He kind of needs to, you know, based on previous rounds, keep himself over there for now. Faze looking ready to just walk in though. Got to be very cautious about this. Over a minute left, they don't have any control phase anywhere else.
Faze need that mid something.
Mongolz choosing to
They haven't
abandon
got
the
it.
site itself and try to play together, but it is the waiting game for the time being. Again, Faze don't have any probes around the map, and 9-10 continues to close the net around Faze. We've seen this before. 53 seconds, they don't have the orb, which could be so powerful in scenarios such as this. 9-10 holding off angles towards mid as Techno is engaged around the B bomb site. 9 players around B.
It's good by 9-10.
Remaining.
He's
No
just
frags
making
just
sure
yet.
he stays alive here. Just watching this walk here.
Faze waiting for some kind of reaction. There's nothing though. 9-10 in that key position. He's going to feel confident that no one's crossing just yet, but he kind of has to remain there. Oh, okay, Darkmeister, Techno taking down 2 players. Faze's hand has been forced. Into B they go, into the M4s, and everybody's getting wiped out. The Mongols delivering a fantastic
9-3 is
defense,
doable,
holding their
but
nerve
they're going to need the
for a
pistol.
3-9 first half. We'll have to see if
Oh,
they can
called
come
by
back
Twist.
after the break.
At half. Faze were very decisive, except for that one round, which they still won.
With the Mongols.
They were.
So first of all, congrats on
They
making.
knew the timing and what they were trying to do. Even that last round there, right? They got obviously the flank came in, but they just kind of call a plan and they stick to it.
And Tikawaka are fitting on the team so
Been
far.
paying
They were
off,
adapting
catching
to
the
our
Mongols.
team very quickly and learning their things as their own quickly, and we helped them a lot by individually also.
So a lot of people keep making the joke that it doesn't seem like it matters who you guys bring in because there's several people in Mongolia that can just fill the Senzu role and still perform really well. So what do you think it is that has led Controlas, Cobra Zera at times to have good enough games that you guys could still take wins over big teams?
I think the IGL and the guiding is very good, to be honest. The me and 9-10 Blitz and the 3 of us, the core of this team, knowing the game very well and guiding them to have to play it properly, I guess. So that's why we're still in the good shape, I guess.
Adding new players, it might take some time to get to a level. What are you seeing from Darkmeister and Tikawak that you like?
Obviously they're so young and it's their first big tournament in so far, and they were doing really great and they're really good.
Can I ask about your play level? I know you had, I think you had MVP last season. How do you bring yourself to your best form?
Volt. Do I like Maui Snake? I like Maui Snake. I've only chatted to him a few times, but he's.
It was shocking actually.
I've always enjoyed talking to him the couple of times I
Very
have.
shocking news for us. Then it is what it is, you know.
Yeah,
everyone is have a
analyze together for
different
sure.
path, different life, different choice. I
haven't
respect his
talked to him a
choice,
lot.
and we will go on our own.
How do you feel like Blitz has handled having to work with?
Pretty
all
good.
these
He's a little bit
You've
more.
been working with him for.
He analyzes
7
well.
years or something. You've been
He's a
playing
little
with
bit
him
more
for really-
bombastic than me. Likes to
Blitz,
throw some
as you said, I'm with
hot
Blitz,
opinions out there,
almost
whereas I'd
6 or 7
maybe
years.
hold myself
And,
back a little
I
bit
think
more.
he's
So probably be a good
already,
combo.
They have to deal with the new players maybe.
I always find it interesting when I look at like Vu and Maui Snake on the desk, right? Because they are all guys who are also kind of making YouTube content initially, like kind of like me, right? That's how they got into
Easy to deal with them maybe.
into the
You
into the
said you haven't
scene.
had a lot of practice so far with this lineup. Why does that keep?
And then I kind of went the coaching route, right?
I'm not saying it because
Whereas most
it's an
of them went
excuse,
more
but,
the on-desk talent
Asia,
route, which
there's,
makes more sense, right? You go
not
from
a
making
lot
YouTube
into
video content credit
practice
to
and, not a
a
good
coach.
into practice, actually.
Maybe my difference was I grew up playing like
And,
basketball
for
at a
the
pretty
Europe,
high level, so I had a
we
lot of
let go,
experience
actually,
kind of
you
in
know,
sports teams and
so far
coaching, so
from
maybe I
home,
fit the coaching
sometimes,
role
and,
like that
10
team
play
environment a
from
little
the
bit
Mongolia,
more than
even if
maybe
you have the 100
most people that spend all day analyzing video games, but I mean, Maui Snake in
After
particular
12
seems
rounds,
like
the
he has a
Mongolz
pretty good head on his
engine
shoulder
is
for
still cold.
potentially
They're
like
gonna have to
coaching a
find
team
some
and putting
combustion
players
before
in the
Faze take off and leaves him in the
too,
dust
but
here. 6th round lead at half
anyway,
time.
just a thought
Faze have
that I
risen
sometimes
at
think
the
about how I
perfect
kind of took a
time in
different
this
route to
series. They've
most
had
people
their
that
life
started-
on the line
started
earlier
with
on, and now
content.
Mongolz are got to be feeling the same way. They'll have utility moving through on this T side. The heat map on B's been busy so far in this game, and it seems it might continue that way as well.
Yeah, Faze. They've got 4 players there, and they get the opening frag, and they get the second kill as well. It's looking really nice there. Mongolz having to try to force their way into this blitz with 2 kills, but answered back here as Faze stands strong on the B side. They're not allowing anybody in right now. It's a desperate Glock to try to make something happen here from 910. Blitz on 38
desperate Glock.
This is starting to feel very desperate right now from the Mongolz, and Twist
Good.
shuts it down. The last
From a
player there
former
for
coach
Faze,
perspective, how do you handle going into a decisive half of this
players on B,
deficit?
James, that was a great read.
You just treat it
Really
like any
big
other
from
half.
Faze. Start
You
as
can't
you
put
mean
extra.
to
You don't put
go
extra pressure on your
on.
players. You
Hell of
don't
a
say,
first
guys,
half.
if we don't like.
Double figures
Like you can say like
immediately
it's time to
after
step
this
up now,
blitz.
guys. Like we got to win this
Mongolz
half.
have
But
few
you have a
decisions to
game
make
plan
now.
going into a half.
Few rounds to their name.
You don't change your game
Shut down
plan.
his bomb sites. Faze are in the driving
Because you would have
seat.
talked about your game plan before, right? So you want to just tell your players, hey, we're still good. Like we're calm.
Faze
Stick to our
are
game
here to
plan.
stay.
Trust
They've got one
ourselves.
foot in the
Like
semi-finals.
you don't change too much.
Was,
You know what I mean?
diabolical.
If there's a
There's
specific
quick
player,
mid-take from Faze here to get active. They can just now circle through Donut. This
I'll
play
continue this
into the
thought in a
bomb
second.
site. It's not bad here from the Mongols.
They found
They
the
would love
opening,
to get a bomb
Mongols.
plant.
Same
They
A rush to
drop
keep
no
them
matter
honest.
what happens in this round. And it's a retake here for Faze. The Mongols in with a shot.
Good positions for Faze before that bomb's even planted. Got position to potentially contain charging as the bomb is planted. Darkmeister collects 2 though. Could Faze capitulate here? 3 on 4, just waiting for these smokes to go. Util still coming their way. There is a flash for Tikuak if he's got a chance to throw it. There is a very slow flank for the Mongolz as well.
That bomb is getting pretty ticked at the moment. Faze have to make a move on their way forward. Jacob opens up the processions and 2 kills. Starting to look pretty nice for Tikuak in the back. The spray delivered is fantastic. Now it's up to the variant. Smoke is delivered, but
And he's out.
it's going to be a retreat here from Jacob. Knows that he doesn't have the
I'm
kit
glad about
at
that
the
Falk.
time.
Volk,
And it will be the
sorry.
Mongols picking that one up with
Glad
one
it's
player
interesting.
left to survive. Tikuak with the heroics with the singular AK.
Yeah, I think Maui's
Faze
content
reset on their CT side for the most part.
can be
just
pretty
like the
entertaining, right?
Mongols
Some of
were
his tier
in the
lists and
first
stuff.
half. Is this the run you asked? We already
He's
saw
got
a
on the
great one. I
desk.
don't think that can be topped. What we saw from Faze earlier on, moving through the smoke. Good synchronization, but just too many man on road.
So
on
again,
that bomb
Mongols
site.
doing the same thing Faze did. They
were
picked the right
happily
round to
dealt
rush
with.
A and were rewarded
Mongols have
for
got
it.
a lot of climbing to do before they catch up to the likes of Faze, who will go for the force buy here.
Yeah, I mean, the Mongols did the best thing they could possibly do. Reset Faze straight away after winning the pistol. And now they're going to be, I think, feeling some renewed confidence. It's a big comeback to make, but they're going to start off with that mid control. They've got that outer cave control as well. And the question is, have Faze stacked? What is Faze doing in a round like this? There's no early aggression, so you've got to be worrying about the stack or a potential trap.
Tikuak and Blitz had a very quiet first half. 3 kills for both. They've got some catching up to do in this second half.
Dangerous.
Tikuak's been so good for the squad as well. He'll be traded on this occasion.
He's going to keep
To
going.
look for more info.
Frozen.
Able to catch a second. That's big. He spotted the bomb as well. So he can rotate where possible. Jaboin trying to find a big connection with the Deagle. Buying time for the remainder to get into position as well.
Yeah, still potential here for Faze if they want to go for this one. Only 3 players, a couple tagged up pretty desperately. No kit though, so have to move very quickly here if you are
See,
Faze.
Twist
Jacob,
naded here.
do that
He
from
drew 2
Temple,
players
finds the first kill,
this
evens
way,
up the
wanting to
numbers,
trade
2
that
versus
player,
2.
right? Which makes
Double
sense,
donut
but
setup
Twist is left during
there
that
for the
time.
Mongols. Another 1v1, but Blitz is more than happy to
Now
deal
they
with
have the
that.
info and
Still
it
looking
should be
very
hard.
healthy. The 5-7 though, dangerous indeed, but Blitz will
Was
lock
the
it in
smoke push
for the
a good
Mongols.
idea? I presume you're talking about the
Twist
previous
there, trying
round
to
when
run
they
distraction,
jumped out the
graded
donut
from mid.
smoke
He was a
as
pistoler, giving some space
Mongols
for the
were
rifler to
planting.
find something.
They had a good
Rotating
flash
over
come
towards
through,
CT
if I
as
remember
well.
correctly.
Not able to find a
Hopefully
rifle
I
on
do,
the way.
one round
It's
ago.
really, really
They had a
important
flash
to
there, they
get
went through, they got their
first
first
and
kill, there
spotting
was
the
just
bomb
too many people
carrier
walking
also.
their
A lot of
way.
information for the remainder of his team to
I can
play
see
off
why
of.
they did it.
They
Didn't
responded
work,
quick
but
enough.
I wouldn't say it was a bad
It will be
idea.
that 5th round for Mongols. Putting Faze on the pistols then. The force buy has failed.
Okay, well, mid is a really big point of focus here for Faze. Looks like they want to try to have a collapse play They look for a moment to kind of pounce. That smoke on red, though, is going to prevent them from really combining their numbers and forces at the moment. 9-10 out here alone. Flashing, making it feel like the Mongols are taking mid control, and that looks like it might make Faze convinced that they can jump out. And where is everyone? There's nobody here. 9-10 has led them astray, and Blitz is the trap piece. 3K from him. That was actually so good, the awareness there from Mongolz.
Yeah, very carefully done. They got some deep mollies towards B as well. Maybe just trying to invite a response if there is one to be had anywhere. So carefully done. The threat was small. Now the threat is reasonably high. The M4s come out for Faze. They won't have the money from AWP on this occasion, but they'll have plenty of plans, plenty of ideas. Regardless of how much Ancient they played at XSE recently, they had a hell of a first half. We did wonder if Mongolz will maybe...
Right, this is the big round. Faze, not much utility. Right, they don't have the utility here for a long drawn-out round, and Mongols aren't going to give it to them, so it's not going to matter.
That's a tough 1v1 there. The trace coming in, both teams wanting to fight.
Good flash.
Open battleground, Jaboen with a great spray down. It's going to make it a 1v1 blitz. 35 health here, all tagged up. Loads of time on the clock, but where is Twists?
Such a fast round into that bomb site, and it's all about timing. There's so much momentum to be had if you're able to win this round. Twist with good spatial awareness, and Blitz just doesn't have the HP. He needed the headshot there.
The producers loving the Faze coach.
Had to try
these cameras.
Faze on 10 rounds there, but they're unable to do that. My word, war of attrition on EA bomb site so quickly indeed. A straight up rush in, but still they leave without the round despite all these numbers here. Great flashes, Jaboen with a good transfer there as well, leaving it doable for Twist.
Yeah, like you said, that
hey,
second kill from Jaboen made such an immense difference. And now look at the Mongols go. They're going back into A. They want to redo into the bomb site.
Mongols are just
yield a different result. The smoke's down.
They're on a they're
behind it, and suddenly the push, it's been stopped.
What great timing for Faze. 3 players in Donut as this
Mongols have had enough.
This could be
they're like, really going to win this? We're coming back quickly, or we're going to just lose quickly? This is what I mean. Again, I'm saying it again, but the Mongols, they play so simple.
3 players in Donut for Faze very quickly.
They don't want to play long, drawn-out rounds. They just want to fight.
With this push of Mongolz. Look at
and they're good at fighting. They're very talented players.
A perfect storm.
Doesn't matter how talented you are if you get slammed by utility.
Series for them, but they are in full control now.
Techno, I mean, it would be amazing.
Fair to say Mongolz was guilty of getting a bit too creative in the first half.
Have much in the way of money.
Not about too creative.
Best case result is I guess, a couple of kills. That's a lot to ask for, honestly.
Just the way Faze were playing, right? They weren't going for that. They went for fast mid control once, I think, the whole half. Just what Mongols were doing didn't really work because of the way Faze was so patient.
They must have asked themselves, what is expected of us going into this game of Ancient? Doesn't seem like Mongols were ever able to catch up to be at parity. One more for Jaboen, who makes it 18 frags now, leading the charge. And you can see they know what that means. The body language tells its own story. Mongols with half the score of Faze and far less in terms of economy.
Yeah, the smoke timing there was so destructive for the Mongols, especially given that Jaboen also defends against the entry fragger. That just killed all of the pace and shifted things enormously for here for Faze. 12 to 6.
Yeah, Jaboen started off really slow, but since about round 22 of Nuke, he's been playing pretty well.
For them, outside of B at the moment, is it all going to finish here on this B bomb site?
They don't have a primary weapon. If you've got enough utility, then the B bomb site can be promising for a buy such as this. I'm not sure if they even have that, but they've got the numbers still, and they come for Jaboen. There's more to deal with as Twist still stands around this smoke for a moment, but it's a complete wipeout for Mongolz.
I love the way that their first kill
on B, and they've picked up a lot of weapons as well.
Jacob,
they've got so much
the player ran through. It looked like backwards from point of view, but he's clearing close left. But probably unlikely anyone's close left versus Tech9s, but it looks funny from Jacob's point of view.
see what can be offered here. Taking away a weapon. Frozen. Looking to take away some more. Might be.
They don't have much money though here, Faze.
It's true. They would
Frozen's
love to
boxed
get a
in.
kill onto Frozen here for sure. And there we go, in the side with the P250, sniped down, and there you go. It's going to wipe out that that buy from Faze, and it's not too far away. 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, 5 rounds is not going to be too far away. If they can completely break the money of Faze, then every second round should be relatively easy. So we could really have.
I'm going to say this before the game ends.
Completely gone.
If you're on YouTube or Twitch or vice versa, please follow me on the other one if you haven't already, just because sometimes I can only stream to one. With Blast and Nice, I can stream to both, but it's not always possible.
Sports psychology. Every round is worth 2 for Mongolz if these ones are easy to deal with.
Got a full eco, so you may as well go.
A position. Going very deep there. Actually finds a kill, the 5-7.
Alright, maybe not.
J-Bone is a bit of a problem there because you got to hold.
Gonna go for more if we're Faze.
One player's timing, and they want timings across the rest of the map here. Faze doing damage.
Arkmeister sleeping.
Another player, and suddenly things are getting awkward. Only 3 players with 120 on the clock. There's going to be gaps everywhere, and who wants to move into another gap? It's Jacob.
Seems nothing is free versus Faze on Ancient right now. Blitz able to drop Jacob. Jay Bowen's had his forward position this entire time on a long, so there's a lot of info here for the CT. He's just picked up a rifle. They can choose to start rotating. They might not know.
Frozen should die here, yeah.
But there's some fresh information from Frozen. 2v3, what is there to lose for Faze in terms of going for this?
Yeah, there's nothing, and Jay Bowen is charging in there looking for a tap. And perhaps Natu can draw some fire for him to find some engagements here. 5-7, going beyond the smoke, it's dangerous, but Darkmeister shuts that one down.
12-8.
And they understand that there's very likely another player from that direction. They will get a plant on Jay Bowen. He's going to go and save his AK. Definitely a sensible choice.
Indeed. I think they heard him jumping around in towards CT spawn as well. So they know what's happening.
My eyes are everywhere. I'm
look like they want to go for the hunt. I was just watching the radar. I'm like, they're all leaving the bomb.
There's a lot to look at.
The bomb, but
yeah.
I think they'll be okay.
Watch the screen, mini map.
So indeed, I mean that was a scary one. You know, I kind of set it up as like this should be a formality for the squad. Immediately get popped by a 5-7. Immediately lose 2 players.
Oh man, the 5-7. You know, especially when I saw how deep Jay Bowen was. I'm like, oh. Very, very scary because, you know, the timings are...
Faze have you to have money here for 1 more buy.
That is the
1.5 more buys.
Will happen. Jay Bowen is
going to see 2.5.
This AK into the next round. So, I mean, every round's going to
depends on the saving situation. Gun rounds out of Faze to close this.
This is how poetic it would be if we get to overtime here, just based off of how the first map went.
Yeah, Mongolz are a strong team, but my word, Faze have put them in check round after round, it seems.
Yeah.
But indeed, the comeback is not off the cards. And yeah, you know, each time, I mean, it helps when Faze saves something, but each time they buy, there's not much left in the bank. So 4 rounds away.
Both teams not using a heap of utility off the rip.
And the
so maybe we're getting that slow, drawn-out round I was talking about.
Control, so they can have both of those angles to get them in control, but it might be a collapse actually from Faze. Faze may want to be able to shove everything into this big position.
DDKs,
yep. With pistols, this time with guns.
No slow.
Oh dear. 5 on 3.
Let's work for Faze.
Seizing map control in mid. What can Mongolz really do to answer back? We've seen many rounds where 9-10 is able to collect a few players, given an opportunity towards mid, but unable to take it.
The repush by Faze, they've also got a lobby now.
For the remainder.
They've got the info there.
Techno, Tikawak and 9-10 trying to find a solution.
Frozen looks a bit uncomfortable though. He's going to be even more uncomfortable after that molly.
Red room attempts. That might be the only opportunity 9-10 is afforded.
But he's gone.
For an opening pick. Now Faze
with this position here, I'm surprised we're not more this way from
Faze.
Faze.
Giving all the forward space away because they know they have the numbers advantage. It does create a gap here for the Mongolz.
Twist creeping onto the side. Catching Tikawak, Techno to trade. 2 on 4. Jay Bowen's looking towards Red Room for a time. Teammate wasn't able to cover his position. That is such a good grenade. Is this the end of the line for Mongolz?
The patience here from 9-10. You talked about it. It's hard to bait him off of a shot. A whiff there and maybe another chance gone. Maybe a chance too many as Faze come in, able to take down Frozen. But it's just on Techno in a known position. Another 1v1 here now for Techno to clutch this. Nate 2, can he make it happen again? He will.
All done by Faze. I think their T side was solid there. Really solid
to the semifinals.
from Faze on their T side. Just not getting caught off by anything.
My words, that was a hell of a
Now we get nothing on CT. That last round was good.
A monstrous comeback on
Simple
Nuke.
mid fight, catching Mongolz in the open, but I think they blew up in the smoke from both top, mid, and Octagon at the same time. Or Donut, sorry, at the same time.
Pieces on your squad coming together like that, fighting when it's difficult, controlling when they have the advantages as well, and closing things out versus a dangerous team of Mongolz is great work, and there's more work for them to do here at Blast Bounty.
Love the shorts on Faze.
And that first map, you know, that performance on Nuke, 13 rounds in a row with your back against a map loss. We saw what happened on Mirage. Faze saved themselves, and that's the kind of resiliency that you need to take a trophy.
Last two maps are
and
good.
so I think for the Faze fans out there, there's going to be a lot of excitement behind what this squad was able to do.
I think both teams are going to struggle.
Performance in this matchup.
Speaking of, 19-11 for J Bowen on Ancient.
Depending on who they play against, right? Like, I think... I just think like Mals and Spirit are just going to be... I know Mals aren't ranked super highly at the moment, but I just think the way they play, it's going to be a struggle for the other team. Maybe Astralis, I could see... The problem with Astralis is firepower, right? But the way they play, I think they just struggle with firepower. Whereas I think FaZe have the firepower potentially, but I think versus a team that they're not going to out firepower like Spirit. But then Mals, they might out firepower. I think Mals are going to have a little bit more to their game than FaZe will. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, and obviously it depends how the bracket goes. But I mean, these two teams won't be against each other, so I suspect whoever Spirit plays will be probably a pretty lopsided semi-final, and then the other one will probably be pretty good, and then we'll get a Spirit versus whoever. But I think Spirit, I just don't see how they don't win this tournament unless Mals just show up like they were a few months ago. Anyway, guys, it's 11:30 at night. I worked all day today, normal job. So I'm going to go get some rest. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the Pain Astralis match if it goes on. I'll catch up with it in the morning. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back for the grand final. I'm busy tomorrow, unfortunately. Got something I cannot skip. But I'll be back for the grand final on Sunday. So I'll see you guys then. See you, Dima. Thanks, guys.